Starts, but then later there's running and screaming.
Hello everybody! You know, it could be wrong, but Harry Potter is important.
His name is in the title. Maybe a bit strange if he's not in there.
I thought they smell funny, but not that I sniff my Lego.
You know, the voice where you can change the pitch of your voice. I went, oh yeah. When he's in the toilet.
It's definitely for kids and so on, or Nicole. But
I've done this much.
I think it needs water.
You know, going from the Home Alone set to this is like being kicked in the nuts while standing on Lego bricks barefooted. You know, that's about it.
I built him. Partners about ecologists, so he was like, I need to have all the bad stuff.
That's why your camera was upside down.
Yes.
I know, it's just painful, but what's worse is the set was missing a wheel, so look, it's just got two front teeth there.
I thought you hadn't finished it.
You know, whenever anyone gets your Lego set now, it's going to be Technic.
That is amazing. That looks like an angel.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending upon where you are, and welcome along to Family Bricks live stream number 45 in this sequence. First one of 2024. Hope that you're all going well, had a good Christmas, New Year's sort of break, and come back all sort of refreshed. I know certainly it's felt like a really busy week. And as always, shout out to the replay gang. And the people last year left comments down below was Brian's Bricks. And I think Trevor may also have left a comment there as well. So if you are watching this back, you leave a comment down below. I'll give you a shout out in the next one. Always appreciate people watching it. And usual sort of social media thing, press the thumbs up or like button, share, do all those sorts of usual things that everyone sort of says out there to do. And I think with that, also this week, we've got a poll going on. Obviously, we have January 1st is always a bit of a big release. But then also, too, following on from that, we have, just trying to pull it up so I can make sure we've got there. It feels like in the last week there's been lots of new releases and announcements and everything like that, and can already see that trying to catch up on last year and get a few things. But this year, there's already starting to make announcements for lots of things, and it's like, ooh, that looks interesting as well. And so there's a poll just about that. What are your thoughts on the upcoming Lego sets? My wallet is already virtually dead. There's some cool stuff, overwhelming because there's so much there. And the other one is what those new sets. So with that, quickly just give the sponsor a little bit of a plug. It helps pay for a few bits and pieces. This video is brought to you by McCatsim Holiday Homes in Margate and Broadstairs. Great for a week's holiday or a weekend escape, being just over an hour east of London, UK. Treat yourself to amazing sunsets, a Lego wall, or great food. Visit www.mccatsim.com and mention this YouTube video and we'll look after you. And I think with that, that's good. We got that there. I'll quickly say hello to some people who have been out there in the chat. Welcome along to Mega Man. Hope you're going well. Hello there. And Madlib quickly saying hi to the chat and panel. Still at my aunt's house, probably lurking until we get away. Yep, that's great to see that you're putting the comments there, and hope that all is going well with the family and enjoying that. And Brick Askew saying hello. Mayo, where's the mayo and the real whole egg? Just waking up. Yeah, it would be silly o'clock in Australia this time of year. I can never remember. I think Sydney at least is about 11 hours in front. So that puts them at like, 7:30 or something crazy in the morning if you're west of that, it's going to be even earlier than that. Happy New Year. Yep, Happy New Year to you too, and everything there. And our favourite Technic connoisseur these days, One Brick Stud, hope that you're going well. And Two Humble Bricks, welcome along. Don't think I've seen you around in a while. I hope you're having a good New Year. And with that, I think just before we get into bringing some people in, usual sort of thing, always appreciate any super chats people want to throw away, and may have a little video for that. Having said that, we'll welcome in our regulars. Welcome into Nicole, welcome into Brick Askew, and welcome into Bonnie's Bricks. Happy New Year, guys. How are you all going?
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year.
All good, yeah.
Yeah, all good.
Can't believe this is the first stream of the year. Like, I'm so confused when you said that. I was like, oh gosh, it is.
Yeah, yeah. I've gotten used to not saying that already to people.
Yeah, it's always the sort of thing. It's like, at what point do you stop saying that? Because it's like, you might not see people for like the first week or two, and then it's like, do you get to that and it's like, oh god, this is the same horrible thing. I need to stop this.
Seems to have stopped pretty quickly at my work, if it even started.
Yeah.
There was a reel going around, I think, today. I'm not sure if it was in the group chat or somewhere else, and it was sort of like just the work conversations held everywhere. So like everyone's saying Happy New Year to each other, token inquiry about what you're doing at Christmas, try to pretend some interest, reciprocate with your bit. What are you doing? Okay, right, back to work.
Yeah. It's just like the worst sort of what's it called? What's it called? When you have like
Going
chat,
through
like,
emotions.
no,
Small
that
talk.
was small talk. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, well, can we just not? Can we just not? Well, you're back. That's good to see. Let's crack on.
It's like, you're back. Oh, you might start sending me emails to ask me to do stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
So, did anyone get up to anything exciting for New Year's?
Too old for that, mate. I think watched the London fireworks on telly and literally went to bed after that. Got rickrolled by Rick Astley, along with the rest of everyone else. But yeah, Rick Astley was doing a live show. For some reason, apparently he's back on the charts or something. And yeah, after the London fireworks finished, they cut back to him and he did I can't even remember the name of the song, but the Rick Roll song.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Wasn't it Together Forever or something?
Is it Never Gonna Let You Down?
Never gonna let you go.
Never
Or never gonna
you up.
down.
Never Gonna Let You Down.
Yeah.
Never gonna give you up. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Never gonna give you
Never
up.
gonna do something. Never gonna get third, right?
Never gonna care anymore. The funniest thing though is that my kids, obviously not of that generation or whatever, they know it and they know the song, and it's just like, how do you even know that? Like, what's happening? Like,
one of
Have
my
you been
proudest
listening to it?
moments is that I rickrolled my entire wedding and the disco, because we had silent disco and we had 3 playlists, and you can switch between each playlist, and everyone happened to be listening to mine, and I just put that song in the middle just somewhere, so I just thought it would be quite funny. And yeah, it does work perfectly. Everyone in the room happened to be listening to that one channel, and everyone got rickrolled.
And I see out in the Twitcherverse there, we've got Redmond. Hope that you're going well. And I'm just trying to see LOL, Sweet, AFOL, Lego, and what is that? Love Bricks.
Yeah.
Cool. Excellent. Those are really cool. Is it emojis or icons or something like that? So good to have you in. Hope that you had a good New Year. And with that, might just sort of go through and sort of see what we might be building or working on this evening. Lady McBrick, what you be sort of?
Well, I haven't been with you last week, so I thought it's only appropriate for me to bring roses. I will try to virtually hand it over to you during the stream. I think David Copperfield managed. I'm not really sure if I will be able to live up to it as well, but I will try. Yeah.
It's probably something we should have coordinated earlier. Otherwise, if you had them, we could. Which am I doing this side here? It'd be sort of like, oh, thank you. Oh, wow.
We really need to. Yeah. We are getting there.
There you go. Nice.
Synchronizing.
It's so strange. I kind of want to use my left hand. Why is it?
It's always really weird, right? Everything's mirrored. I'm always going on the wrong side.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I've got my left hand up. Yeah.
Ollie, can we do better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
High five.
High five. There you go.
Not you.
Hands involved too.
Yeah, it's funny because it's not mirrored. It's kind of like the opposite.
Yeah.
If it was mirrored, you sort of, and it's because our brains are so used to the mirror effect, which is so completely unnatural.
Yeah.
Wait, the what effect, Matt? The what?
The mirror effect.
Like when you're looking in the mirror, I guess.
No, yeah, it's just the way it says mirror. It's funny.
Yeah.
Mirror.
Mirror.
I
think I roll the R's because I spend a little bit of time in northern Canada, so I picked up a bit of a twang. So there's a couple little things which are still there.
Mirror.
Mirror.
If Ollie came up a bit higher, I would be able to tap him on the head.
That looks so weird.
I feel the need to. So sorry.
That's all right. I enjoyed it.
It was funny because when we went through on last week's stream and sort of did putting together some of those videos and going back through old clips and things like that, it was some of the stuff that Nicole says is like hilarious. And at the point it's like, no, I can't include that. I can't include that.
He's like a filter.
Yeah. And then went through, redid the intro highlight clips and things like that, and there was quite a number there which Nicole's sort of like a great storyteller, so leading into it, and it's like, no, we just need ones which are quick and punchy, so managed to save her the further embarrassment this time. So but no, it's been great going through those, and I think it's about another, because I've missed a couple of streams, so we're up to 45 at the moment. But the 1 year for this stream happening is going to be sort of January 26th, so the end of the month. So it's like January 27th. So it's something which is going to come along, and I don't know. Number 50 always seems like a big number, probably because of collecting comic books. It always seemed to be number 25 or 50 or 100 or something like that. So thanks to everyone who's been out there supporting it and getting it this far. And hopefully we can sort of keep going. I have to try and think of some interesting things to do for that, or have some ideas or something.
Good.
Yeah.
That'll be a good week, because it'll be our 1 year anniversary as well, like that week on the Monday. So how crazy is that? I did not know that. Yeah, jam-packed week.
Oh, for your actual channel, as well.
Yeah. I just realized I started on this 22nd of January, so feels like should be doing something for that. So Monday, it's a bit of a random day, but I thought, why not? Let's do it.
Why not do that? And you're just, what is it now? 26 subscribers short of 1,000?
Something like that. Yeah, it keeps going.
Yeah.
So as happens, yeah. So that's why I'm not announcing like a countdown, because as soon as you do that, people are like, I'm just gonna unsubscribe just to be fun.
Or it's sort of like, I want to be subscriber 1,000, even though I'm subscribed now. So unsubscribe, and then when we get to
you can be 1,000, yeah.
999.
Yeah, there's no
excellent,
danger
yeah.
of like putting out like a competition for that sort of thing, because otherwise everyone will unsubscribe because they want to be number 1,000. You're like, oh, that totally backfired.
You can't do
But
that.
yeah.
And Redmond saying, just finished building Lego City Plane with my son. His Xmas present. We have yet to find room for it. Well, this is something you probably have to talk to Nicole about, because she's the big advocate of build it and the space will appear.
Right.
So Nicole, what are your tips in this situation? Surely you've come across this before.
Yeah, definitely. I know that it is the law of Lego. There is no space unless you have the set, you build the set, and then the space will appear. If you do not buy the set, or you buy it but don't build it, there is no space for it. That would be unnatural. So you have to buy it, build it, wait for it, and then there will be space.
Then there'll be space.
Yeah.
It's the first law of Nicolonomics Lego.
Right.
Or just start taking up airspace for the plane. Just hang it somewhere.
Right.
You know, things are getting desperate when you're taking airspace.
Yeah.
I thought there for a moment there, Bonnie, you're almost going to sort of border on a Trevor pun or something. So like,
Yeah.
like it wasn't just quite getting there.
No, I'll leave that to the professional when he's around. But no, I wouldn't dabble in that.
Trying to think of the crazy. Yeah, I think on was it Mad Lib stream earlier in the week? I think we started getting into some of the Chuck Norris puns. If you've never seen them, basically it works off this idea that Chuck Norris is, you know, such a I'm trying to think of the right words without swearing, but it's not happening. He's quite tough and everything like that. So it's like, you know, Chuck Norris's tears would cure cancer. It's a shame that he's never tried. And then it's like on the seventh day, God rested, and Chuck Norris said, "I'll take over from here." So all these brilliant sort of ones, and it's kind of funny.
Was this in text stream? Was it?
No, then in text stream, because I think we did that.
You just butchered both of their streams, basically.
Yeah, I think we did a couple on Mad Lib streams, and then when we went to tech streams, it was bad puns. I think because obviously tech is into Star Wars, so then it's all the bad Star Wars puns, which, given just been doing the puns for the Advent calendar, it's kind of like, okay, well, I'll let other people go and just see what else comes up. We can always rely on Trevor for those sorts of things. So I hope that you're going well wherever you are out there, Trevor. I think got a lot on his plate at the moment. So, and I think much like the rest of us, all sort of started to go back to work and have other things take up time. And speaking of things like that, Bonnie, what are you sort of going to be building this evening on the stream?
Oh, well, actually, I started a project earlier today, and I thought I'm not gonna. I was gonna open a new small set that came out this year for the stream, but I thought no, I need to just crack on with this. So I am actually building the bookstore.
Oh, nice!
Wow.
So I'm struggling a little bit because, so obviously last year, into this year's Disney 100. And I was all mad for the Disney 100 merch, and I saw this, and Aaron was like, "Why have you bought this? We don't have a dog or a cat." I bought this like Disney 100 dog bowl, so I could put my parts in it. I was like, I saw it, and I was like, I will find a way to use this. I just like it so much. Like underneath all the parts, there's like really nice like sort of printing and stuff like that. And under there, it says, yeah. And I was like, I can use this for parts, but yeah, for modulars it's not so great because there's just like I can't actually like get in and find everything because there's so many. But for small builds, it's like really good.
Yeah.
But is that weird? I don't know.
Oh, no, it's perfect. If the set is really small, you could put bricks on one side and snacks in the other. You just need to be careful what direction which goes. But
Yeah.
You don't want to be getting that one wrong.
No. Oh.
Yeah.
This one's a
actually
little
really
too
good shout.
crunchy.
Yeah.
My God, wait, how did this guy get in here? Is he supposed to be in this? Is there a chameleon in this set?
Yes.
Oh,
Yep.
In the attic, in the apartment, in
Yeah.
the aquarium.
focus.
I thought, are you a bit of the way through it then?
No, I'm still on like the actual bookstore because I didn't realize it came in like a sort of like 2 smallish buildings. He's so cute.
Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah, he's cool, isn't he?
So yeah, no, I didn't get overly far earlier. Had a bit of a long lie. Today was like my last day properly like off to myself before work. Because Nova's back at childminders now. So she was with family yesterday and childminder today. But tomorrow I'll have her. And then the weekend obviously we'll have her. So today was my first day off and I thought I'm gonna start another modular because the museum which I've now built is like kind of where the Winter Village was in the living room before. So it's kind of like out of her reach, but like it's somewhere that it can be displayed for now, much like Nicole's sort of thought process. Yeah. And I thought the easiest thing to also maybe put there is like another modular. So I dug this out of the storage so I could start on this because I'm also like trying to factor in like I need to obviously whenever this Lego room gets built, I'd rather actually have some of the bare bones of it done in the sense of like mills plating stuff and like just like I think you forget how much time that actually takes. So this is like me allowing myself to enjoy doing the build, but then also like when the Lego room is like ready, I can just start slotting in mills plated modulars and stuff because I didn't mills plate all my modulars from the start. So I'm just making sure I do it from now on. But this just looks a bit weird because I did it like next to the other one. Like the other half.
Okay, so you're connecting.
But I'll connect them like after.
Base plates.
Yeah.
Just to put it out there now, before you commit to connecting them, would it be an option to have them as 2 separate builds? Because I found that I didn't do a city, but I did like a street, and I didn't have them next to each other.
Yeah, no, I have thought that because they've made it so easy to make that an option. You just take the pins out and just them next to each other. Because I might not even actually pin them all together, like how they all have the tech pins to join them.
Yeah.
I might not even do that because if you ever want to shuffle around your city, it's so much easier not having to unclick everything and.
Yeah,
like
you
I'm
can
not
get
planning
those
on
pins that are like half pin and half like cross head kind of thing. Or
Yeah.
like a cross, and then you can just they've still got a bit of like they'll stay in place, but they're really easy to take out.
The Technic axle pins.
That's it.
Yeah. So still undecided. Might just wait and see what kind of shape the city's going to take because it's that way. I'm like it's going to go one way or the other. I feel like we've got loads of sets, but as soon as we like have the room there, filling it up and then like a nice city and a nice display, it might start to feel sparse because we've got the space that we're not used to. I
You'll
don't
fill
know.
it so quickly. I felt and now I'm like, I need to make more space. Like, got to rip out a wardrobe at some point to clear some space.
I saw you mention something about that in the chat, and I was like, oh my goodness! Like, I can just visualize the sledgehammer coming out. Like,
I can't go crazy because I don't want to have to take everything out of my room. So I've got to be careful of all the Lego that I've built already. So I'm going to have to be surgical about it.
Yeah. Well. Everything crossed for you. The final like thing though, like that'll be really cool. But
that should be the last bit. I mean, other than decorating, but yeah.
Are you going to keep it like the same as like what you've got right now with like the kind of white, like IKEA shelves and stuff, or are you talking decorating?
I'll keep the shelving, as in like painting the walls. I've got to do the floor at some point because I've just got bare floorboards. So I might like sand them down, fill all the gaps. And like wax it all, or whatever it is, not wax it, gloss it, or whatever you do, treat it. But that's a pretty big job in itself. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, you're gonna want to do that a day that you're not planning on spending much time in the room, otherwise it'll stink. But it'll be really good once it's done. Be so satisfying.
Yeah, I'll probably need a few days to be honest. I'll probably have to book some time off because I have to get pretty much everything out if I wanted to do it in one go. Empty the whole room out and then get it all back in.
No. It's exciting.
Which would be fun. That's partly why it stayed in exactly the same state as like a few days after I moved in.
Yeah, it was just that keenness to try and get everything unpacked and everything in there, sort of thing.
Yeah, well, I had to be set up. This is where I work as well, so I had to be set up to work.
Yeah.
Pretty much straight
Dang
away.
work.
Yeah.
Pays for the Lego, but dang it.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be good to see when it's done.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I just saw there. Was it Maya said he's going to be lurking? Okay, cool. And also Brick Stage Pass. Evening all. Hope you're going well, Greg. Happy New Year. And I'm just going to wonder if I keep saying that to everyone I see in the chat. At what point that becomes a little bit repetitive.
I thought I can't find like the smallest of pieces because of this issue that I was talking about, and I'm like, what do I do? Like, I've been searching for ages, and I don't want to move on to the next bit until I find it, because I'll probably have to like undo.
And it's not like a 1x1 which has been wedged underneath one of the other like bricks or something, like in between the studs.
Oh, maybe. I don't
Probably
know.
fine to just ignore it. You guys just ignore if you find you get to the end and you're like, oh, I've missed a brick, and everything still seems to be standing. So I'm just going to pretend I didn't see this last one.
Found it.
Found it.
The mission is over.
Oh no, wait, but I still need to find a dark one for the other side. Oh wait, I found one. It's fine.
In your dog bowl.
Yeah.
Disaster has been avoided.
I'm sure there's a dog's breakfast joke in there somewhere, but Ollie, to your question, yes for system, no for technic. If you can't find it for technic, it's like, yeah. I wonder if that gear is going to be important. We'll just skip that, you know. Don't need to worry about it. And with that, Britsky, what are you working on this evening?
I've got nothing to show other than a box of parts I'm sorting. I'm breaking down the Christmas holiday Main Street, whatever the last year's Christmas build
Main
was.
Street, yeah.
Main Street, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm breaking that down into parts. But it's pretty boring, so I might switch to building something at some point fairly soon.
I was going to say, so like a new year, and you're not going to start with a build. I mean, at least you're not stuff down to move and put them away. Like,
yeah. It's just built up so much. I've got these I've got this unit of 3 quite big drawers, and I reserve the top 2 for like parts that I'm going to sort back into the collection, and they filled out. And it's now overflowing because I could hide it away and just ignore it. But now I've got a couple of big bags on the floor next to it. And it's like, okay, I need to actually address this. So maybe I can break them down, and then I can fit the parts into the drawer because it was completed. So it might be that I've done enough to alleviate the problem.
Just
and
enough
I can ignore it a little bit longer.
longer. So with the drawers, when you break them down, what sort of drawers do you have? Are they sort of like little screw type drawers, or are they?
These are quite big drawers. They're like, I don't know, a foot. I would turn my camera around, but I don't want to show the state of my room. But yeah, they're quite big. They're like, I don't know, almost a foot by a foot, and then about 15-20 centimeters deep. Okay. So I've got like, yeah, that's the top 2 are for parts, and then one of them I've got all my smaller plates, like 2x plates, split into bags. All my slopes, all like structural building, like doors and windows and arches and that kind of stuff. Yeah. And then tiles, and they're all stuff that could probably be sorted into like parts and colours a bit better, but not yet.
Not yet. The tile one, yeah, that does it. So within these big drawers, you've got like what, little containers and things.
I'll grab one actually. I'll show you. I'll grab one which won't drop on the floor. and spill everything. So there's
Oh
like
yeah.
that big. So that one's my plates, and that's split into grey 2x plates and just general mixed colours, and then I've got brown and I do have black and white sorted. Okay, and then black and white in together. And then
Sound like you're
putting
hitting
black and white together
mental
is fine
note
because you can tell, you can pick them out easily. And then this is one of the drawers that could probably be sorted. They're just like slopes,
there.
all the
Slopes and
slopes.
that, yeah.
So it's quite quite good for if you've got loads of pieces, because quite often they'd fill a decent sized box, and it would mean you couldn't actually like sift through them to if you want to get one at the bottom, you have to like empty a chunk of it out into another box, and
You do it that way.
so but that was just cheap from the range. I think it was 20 quid for two of those.
It's very
so
good.
I've got two put together.
Storage is
Yeah.
actually so expensive, but like now seems to be the time to buy it, because I think, was it in the range or B&M? I went somewhere and they had like, it was as if they just tore out all the Christmas stuff and put like boxes, like storage. And I was like, oh, is this for everyone to put all of their toys and gifts and Christmas decorations? And but like I did have a really good look because I was looking for something. In fact, I got this from TK Maxx because I forgot that shop existed. You know, and I've not been in it in ages. And I thought this was quite good actually.
Oh, nice.
Like I wanted something transparent, but I think this will just be purely like minifig parts maybe. Because I don't want to get like a drawer system that I don't have like loads of for the same sort of parts, if that makes sense. Because that's messy and inconsistent. So I thought this will be a nice one to have like maybe on the desk with like minifig parts. So I thought that was pretty good.
TK Maxx. Do you remember roughly how much that was?
Oh, it was 25 or 30. I can't remember. It was a little bit expensive for what it is.
Surprisingly expensive, those drawer systems. I think I paid £30 for like, it's like one of those ones that's like different sized, like you put tools and stuff, or like
it was 30. It's got the price here, but that's to make anyway. But I only bought it because I was only ever planning on buying the one for the minifigure stuff.
Yeah, okay. And it looks good quality.
Yeah, no, it's really sturdy, and it's got like labels and nice little drawer bits and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I really want to get like more, like something similar. Like you see everyone like with these kind of black sort of drawers.
Yeah,
I think that's more. I think that's more like in America and stuff. They can get them like decent Target and stuff like that. So
it's the Acro, what they call the Acro Mills ones, which the ones that we have here in the UK, the sort of equivalent is what they call the Von House, VONHAUS, I think it is, and that's what I've got is the orange ones, and they're very much they are those screw type ones, and they've got. I'm just trying to think, is it 36 or 40 different drawers, a couple different sizes. And again, it's the sort of thing, like pre-COVID, like, you know, decent sizes, you can get them on sale for like £15 or something. And now I think the regular price is something like $45.50. Like, COVID came and they just went crazy.
Lidl had some of these kinds of drawers in October, I want to say, and they were like £9 each. So I got a couple of them.
Nice.
Minifig parts. Yeah, they're really good. I mean, they're smaller, but yeah, it's really good.
That's going to be the new thing. Like, you know, when we're all sending each other in the chat, like, all the latest, oh, have you seen this leak? It'll be like, have you seen this storage? Like,
Now that we've got mortgages, we can stop talking about mortgages and buying houses and about Lego storage to go in those houses.
Because I find storage like solutions just as exciting, to be honest, because the idea of it all being so organized is just like
it's nice. Yeah. I've showed a friend my Lego office recently, and he was just going through the drawers. He's like, "Oh my god, this is so amazing! This is so organized."
Living the dream.
Yeah, you spend so much money on the Lego and on the pieces. What good does it do to you if you do not know that you have it? Or you know that you have it, but you can't find it.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
So true.
And that frustrates at times when, because we've got them relatively well sorted, because we sort of well, not so much slave labor, but hey, you kids are being naughty. Okay, go sort some Lego for a little bit. So, and it's good because we had those drawer systems, and then we printed out like the pictures of all the different parts, because when they were younger and they couldn't read, there's no point going 2x4 or whatever. So being able
and even
to
then, it's like 2x4. Like you start trying to like picture it in your head, and
yeah. Unfortunately, the downside is then. Sorry.
You started them young. They weren't able to read, but they were already on the workforce. Not able to read, walk, speak. Best workers ever.
Yeah.
You just sit them and tell them, go.
This is
Like
what
those
you
toys where you put the square through the square hole and the circle through the circle hole.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, there's a good little one where they have, I think, again, it's one of those reels where you've got the 4 different things, or, square, triangle, circle, or whatever else. And you get this one person and they're managing to fit every single shape through like the trapezium.
Oh, yeah,
so,
yeah. It's like
it fits through. The square, if you turn it sideways, it fits through.
Yeah. There's it's probably the same thing, like the meme about, it's like it's a dev and a tester, and it's like, oh yeah, you put the square one, where do you put the square one? In the square one, yeah. Where do you put the circle one? They put it in the square one. Like, where do you put the triangle one? In the square? No. It just keeps going.
But when they fit, it's like, because I have like Nova's got these toys just now because that's like her age group, and I was trying to like show her. Oh yeah, you put the square through the square one. That's right. And then she went to put like, I think it was the trapeze one through like the square, and I was like, no, that one, but it fit through, and I was like, oh, and then she was just like, she put it straight through and just started the next one. I was like, okay, never mind. How do I explain that that's wrong when it seems right? Yeah.
And then I just want to try to catch up on a bit of the chat here, because we had Titanium J, Happy New Year, hope you're going well. And Brick Stage Pass, got all the minifigures today, really good series. And then the phone scanning QR hack came out, was really bad timing. Hold that thought, we'll come back to that. Saying hello there. And Barry, Happy New Year, Falling with Bricks, hope that you're going well. And it feels like we got all the 2x4 players. No, I think we're still one short. Fallen, I need to find some decent compartments for my narrow IKEA Alex drawers. And Monarch, Happy New Year to you as well. Good evening, all. And just a few people saying backwards and forwards to Monarch and Baza.
As are these kinds of containers of various sizes, the no jig, they work well in the Alex drawers. I've got them. You can get various combinations, and you can stack them on top as well, with each other.
That's what I use as well, and the little containers you're talking about, they're actually reasonably priced as well. Like I think the smallest one is like 25p or something.
Yeah. I think like a pound. I think the biggest one is £1, and that's as expensive as it gets.
Yeah.
And Redmond here, I'll probably have the part, but in case I don't, I'll order 15 more on Bricklink. Yeah, that's sometimes
that's a very familiar story. You know what though? That saved me with Rivendell, because I ordered 30 of these pieces that were all missing from Rivendell. I had 30 pieces missing in Rivendell. What? Yeah, and they've ignored my email about that. Actually, I need to chase them up on it.
That's really bad.
Customer service phone call. Yeah, because I think there's been a few of us. You've had, in relative terms, a bit of a shocker with that Rivendell, because wasn't it the stickers were like misprinted on the sheet, so they don't come out properly, because obviously when the sticker paper's gone into the printer, it's been slightly misaligned on an angle. You've had a lot of the clips missing.
That was the two bits, but still, it's like I very rarely have issues, and then two quite glaring. Like 30 bits missing is a lot, because I was like, that's too many to just be missing. So I did search like pretty much anywhere I'd been where the set had been, and
you take it out for what?
I was like, you don't just lose like 30 pieces. Like it's not like they're just stuck in the bottom of the bag.
Yeah, it sounds almost as if you're missing like one of the small bags or something.
Yeah, I think they must have been all in.
What part was it?
It was a 1x2 lime green clip.
Oh, okay.
But I just happened to buy a whole bunch of them
Mm.
and had enough.
Yeah, but you still want to get them back from
Yeah,
them.
yeah,
You're
exactly.
like, yeah, that's not good.
No, that's because I mean, obviously we had one brick stud had a wheel missing out of his Technic set. Whether or not that's putting it on, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And there was another big set somebody was having an issue with.
Yeah, it was, I was missing the
Mm.
posters for the museum.
Yes, that was the other one. And
So annoying.
it's kind of like, wow, okay. On top of everything else. Don't worry,
It's like what
premium
Ollie's
quality.
saying though. It's like I never have issues normally. Like
Yeah.
that's one of the first things. But I had the really bent base plate as well. But that was just like a packaging
Yeah.
error on their part. Like because all the bags have obviously just like, and then one missing tile as well.
Yeah.
But the
Few
posters I
things
was
there, yeah.
annoyed about. Yeah. But they've actually said that they've dispatched it now, which I'm happy about because
Yeah, mine's been dispatched apparently.
because apparently the posters were out of stock when I like reported
Oh well.
it. I was like, oh great, like how long is that? Because they're so custom. But
Yeah, because I couldn't order the stickers for Rivendell through the system where you don't have to talk to anyone. They just didn't have the option to choose anything from Rivendell, I don't think.
Huh.
So I had to email.
Goes around.
Weird.
Yeah. And then Monarch here. I actually watched Matt's family organizing space. I did the table in the center for them to build. Yeah. What he's referring to there is what is it? Comments refresh. One of the very first early videos that I did was just actually organizing. Sort of going through how we did it. It was more so because one of the kids' friends had seen what we did, and then rather than try to explain it in great detail, I sort of did it with a video, just more for them. So the sound quality on it was terrible, and I kind of just did it like as a bit of a throwaway video. And of course, it took off. So it was the thing when I first started the channel. Like because of that video, I got to the 4,000 watch hours really quickly, but I was still sitting on like 150 subscribers. It took a long time to get the 150 subscribers. So yeah, there's lots of interest in those sorts of sorting things. Well, what the kids had was this old Thomas the Tank Engine sort of like table, and of course because the outside has got like the tracks and it's raised, it means that if you put anything on it, stuff can't roll off the edges. So we used that sort of sort of table for them to play on, and that was good because then, you know, if they're playing and making a mess at the end of the day, you could just throw everything onto that, and it was like off the floor and away from the vacuum cleaner and everything like that. And then you could then say, okay, right, you're being naughty. That's what you need to sort now. Monarch, I love organizing videos. Brick Stage Pass saying, hey. TJ, I've seen that reel. That's probably the one of the ones we were talking about a little bit earlier. Everyone's saying, hi. Red Carnage, Happy New Year. Good to see you in. Been a while since I've seen you. Like every time this year, I think about, what was it, probably 3 years ago now when we went to the Lego store and Red Carnage almost walked away with one of my bags. And he's never lived it down since. Stupidly, I pulled him up, and then afterwards, I think it was Greg who realized that actually, had I not done that, he would have walked off with a cheaper bag. So, I'm saying Happy New Year to everyone there. We're from, was that?
Oh, they're from IKEA.
IKEA, yep.
Yeah.
Probably those little sorting inserts there. Yeah, and Baz are also saying long time for Red Carnage. Hey. Those IKEA containers are amazing. Andy's Bricks and Figures, welcome along. I think it's been a while since I've seen you in. Happy New Year. Hope that you're going well. And I'm seeing as part of your avatar a castle there. So what sort of themes in that are you into? I'm going to take a wild stab at might be castle. I have so many of them. Hey Bobby, they're from IKEA. I will take a look. Hey Andy, hey Red, how you going? You coming to Bricktastic again? Yes, that's coming up
Oh, there was a question about, are you going to Booktastic, Matt? Tech was asking earlier.
I don't think so. We've actually finally got confirmation. We're doing a collaborative build for the National Space Center, and that is in March. I think it's like a week or two later. So it was literally this week. I think we applied asking, you know, how you got to apply for it. I think we applied for it like 8-9 months ago.
Oh, wow.
So
Wow.
it's only just come through today. Yes, you're selected. It's sort of like, well, do we book the accommodation or do you just not?
Right.
Like, it's kind of like,
That's mad. That's so long. Because that's definitely something I've found with like the thought of displaying. You seem to have to think about it quite far in advance to actually do it.
To do it, yeah. Because I think somebody, it may have been you, was asking about Bricktastic, and I think, and I'm sure Craig would probably know. I thought I saw that the cutoff for them was like, was it November last year?
Yeah, I think it was end of October.
What? That's crazy.
So,
Which seems relatively good compared to 8 or 9 months ago to apply.
well, it's more just the lead time, because it's sort of like, okay, so you find out 2 months beforehand, which, I mean, you can sort of say for the other ones 5 or 6 months beforehand, but if you need to then like book accommodation or think about all that sort of stuff,
yeah, that's it, right?
You kind of got a bit more time to have a think about it. I'm just saying hello. Should be there for 9 a.m. Saturday. So yeah, it's the sort of thing. If we didn't have the Space Center one go through, then I probably would have missed the boat anyhow for Bricktastic. But just sort of doing two within a couple of weeks of each other, when you got to consider travel and hotels and everything like that, I think it's going to have to be a 2025 job.
Yeah, I'm going to try and go next year because it's my wedding anniversary on the day this year. I might be able to get away with it next year because maybe, don't know.
Is it one of those? It's sort of like, yes, you sure you can go? It'll be fine.
But it's also it is
properly. It's you have to tell your better half that you take over. It will be a total romantic day. Leave everything to me, and you will make a day of it. And you start with it with roses, and then you just need to sell it right. Like, okay, the day is all about you. I thought it through. You will love it. You just need to stick with it till the very end, and then it all will make sense.
Surprise her to a nice 2 or 3 day Lego convention. But it's quite expensive, it seems, because there is, for me to get to Manchester, I think 10 years ago it was like over £100 on the train. So I don't know what it would be now. And then there's a hotel for 2 nights, I guess, if I was to display. So it racks up pretty quickly.
Yeah. Although, Ollie, I have to tell you, if you would be able to pull it off, to tell your better half that to make it a day playing, that would be amazing. Sit there next to me, and
there's absolutely no way I could convince her to come along. I don't think she would put up with a whole day, let alone 2 or 3 days.
Of it. I think my wife sometimes uses the kids. Oh, they'll be bored after an hour or two. Kids are bored right about now, aren't you? We need to, like, there's other stuff to do, like, elsewhere. I think for anyone out there, if they can snag someone who's got an opinion like Nicole, then you're doing quite well, because it usually might work out that way.
I do love my wife very much. I should probably say, in case she watches.
You don't have a problem missing it. You're fine.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, wedding anniversary kind of trumps it.
Kind of trumps it.
Wedding anniversary is one day, though.
Yeah. This is why I might be able to next year, with a bit more lead time.
And Red Carnage, you're never going to let that go, are you, Matt? No, I have a tendency to latch onto things. At least you've got a nice one. Talk to Fooling with bricks in his nose. Monarch, Jay, Fooling, everyone else on YouTube, holding down the fort on Twitch. Yep, cool. I always miss your streams. Yeah, I'm probably not endearing myself for you to come more often. So there's always a replay gang, but no, it's great to see that you're here. And did you manage to actually get anything for the January 1st? Andy's Bricks. More of a Star Wars fan, to be honest, but Castle's my favorite build from the last few years. Yeah, I can see that. And I think we're talking online or maybe someone else's stream, the Castle stuff, if you're not into it, it could be a dangerous rabbit hole to get down at this point in time, because between the Lion Knights Castle and then the Market one coming out this year as well.
Yeah. There's a little bit of forest training as well, right?
Yeah, and then the Blacksmith, and then I think there's another one or two Bricklink designer ones either about to be like so.
Yeah, because there's a massive castle coming out on the Bricklink one, right?
Yeah, it literally looks like wintry.
Yeah, it does look awesome. But
yeah, it seems to be by the same. I want to say it's by the same guy, but I could be wrong. I know when the Castle in the Forest came out, I jumped onto his sort of feed, and he's done a lot of different submissions, and it's just like he's a castle nut. I mean that in a positive way. Like there's just all sorts of different flavors. Red Carnage, see the Batcave and then instead. Current castle is too big to bring.
It would be awesome to see that in person.
Yeah, and that almost seems to be the thing. Like with some of the bigger shows, that's when people, I don't want to say really make the effort, but you get a lot more of the larger ones coming along. Good ones to see. Brixine, Happy New Year. Hope that you're going well. Merry Christmas and that. Always good to see you around. Hope that everything's going well. And it's always good to see you. Saying hello to everyone there. Red Carnage is going to be great. And good, thank you all. You seen Trevor recently? I want to pop in and see him. He was actually on last week's stream. So give that a plug and go back and watch that. He's just a man in demand at the moment. So he's really busy, but otherwise doing quite well. And it was good to see him in. Hopefully, we'll see some. I think he was saying he's going to take a bit of a break from the stop motion for at least a couple of weeks. It'll be really interesting to see what he's got planned next, because his last one, I think, as we were all having a bit of a chat, with really introducing story elements and things to it, and rather than just purely bricks coming together, which has been great to see. Just talking about a few there, not seeing. I need to go to see his new Lego room. Have I missed something? His new Lego room?
He has a new Lego room? That is news to me. Might be news to Trevor as well.
Well, maybe it's saying, wasn't he? So has he moved rooms? Maybe
that's why he's taking time off.
He's enjoying all the little bits of plastic there, because I think he was. Maybe it's just like one of those things with Nicole. It's like he was thinking about enough Lego that a new room popped into his house.
Yeah. It will happen one day. You will walk around your house and you will wonder, was this door always here? It's like Narnia. You open a door and there's a whole new world. Space.
It's there. And putting down some of the nose ones there. That's too funny. Let's go. And by the way, Mrs. Skew, can Ollie come to play the day after your anniversary? Look after
Ollie, that is a brilliant idea. You can display you can bring your wife. You make a whole event out of it. You just need to have the whole community in it. Because you just send then your wife from friend to friend, and they will then just entertain her for an hour or two.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's it.
I could do it. I don't think I would convince her. I would love to try it, but yeah, there are factors at play that I don't think it would work.
Depends. Yeah, and it could be revealing. Like, my present for you is you not having time to spend time with me. If she's then happy, that's not a good thing. But thank God, best anniversary ever.
Yeah. You should do this more often.
Unless that starts a slippery slope. Like, yeah, I kind of really did enjoy time apart, and I'm enjoying more and more of it apart. And we don't really need to be together anymore, do we?
We need to go do some Lego.
Oh, please don't blame me that I put you on the path to it, right?
You might become a Lego nut. You might have to like pry her away from things. You never know.
I've already tried. She's quite, but yeah, she's not. She's not an AFOL in the making. She does tell me about stuff though. She's like, "Oh, have you seen the Orient Express? I think was the latest one." Like, yeah, she always points stuff out.
That's when you got to like try to turn it or use it. It's like, oh yeah, I was thinking about buying it. Should we go do that next weekend?
And then that's, well, how are we going to pay for this bathroom?
Oh, to be an adult.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we don't really need a bath. The shower is plenty.
Right.
I think I might.
One? Like a swimming pool somewhere?
Well, to be fair, I'm going to join the gym in February, and I haven't got like a shower that I can stand up in, so I'm actually really looking forward to having a working shower.
Yeah.
Is that because you've still got like you're renovating yours and you've got like the little?
Yeah, we've got to
yeah.
save up to swap out the shower because there's a whole domino effect of like if we take out the shower and change that, do we then have to basically do the whole bathroom?
Yeah, otherwise you're ripping things out again. And
yeah, exactly. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's some things like there's just little luxuries that you like, and for me, it's like a big shower head, like waterfall.
Yeah,
they're sort of like, oh, these are all water efficient. It's like, no, I don't care. I want the really big one. Let lots of water come down. Really high up in the ceiling, which kind of bugs my wife a bit because if they're sort of normal people height, then you get in, like you hit your head on them and things. It's like,
yeah. There's been an interesting one this week, hanging pictures, which are like the perfect height for my wife, but she's about a foot shorter than me. So I'm like, all these pictures are really nice.
Yeah, because you're quite tall. You're about the same. You're about 6'3".
We're about the same height, 6'2", 6'3", I think.
Yeah.
You don't look that tall. What? It's so funny when you hear these things like about people and then you like see them in the flesh or whatever. Like that's so crazy. That's really funny.
Well, even that was the other big surprise. I the brick bods, because they're about our height sort of thing, maybe a little bit shorter. I sometimes, because pretty much everybody that I saw at Steam I'd never seen before, like yourself and them and other people. It's sort of like, wait a minute, you're all quite tall, and like it's all the same thing. So I've been thinking about it, it's like, why do we have that? Is it because particularly a lot of our cameras are like set up high, so you're naturally looking down, so you're going, oh, okay, must be looking down at someone, and then when you actually see them, it's like, actually no, it's like up.
I always slouch as well, so I wonder if that has anything to do with it. Slouched in my chair, I mean. But
yeah. And because I know one time when we've had like Nicole and sort of like, is it her chair there? And it was more like an optical sort of thing where I think the chair was a little bit back and it looked like she was like really tiny and it was a big, massive chair. So, yeah. And Planet Tech Productions, good evening. Hope that you're going well. Happy New Year. I almost said Merry Christmas. Great Carnage Castle has become really expensive to collect. I've been gradually collecting various factions last year. Green Dragon Knights are very expensive to collect along with the
Yeah.
Red Falcons, BAMs. Yeah, it's.
I wanted
It's
some of the Raven ones because someone was selling them cheap, and cheap was £10 each, and I was like, I can't, justify that at the moment.
Yeah, I think it was a couple of years ago, or maybe it was last year, for one of the lug bulk ones, we did like a couple of pieces from the Knights.
Yeah,
do that.
that's last year we had that.
But it raises an interesting point that obviously we didn't have Castle as Castle for quite some time. Okay, yes, there was Neo Knights, but that's going back a little bit. So obviously brought out the Lions Knights Castle, very high price point, but it is really quite detailed. I've never built it. I've looked at it though, and it seems to have some really cool techniques, particularly the way that it opens up and it locks in and does all that sort of thing.
It's amazing.
It becomes a matter that would you want something cheaper that is compromised, or if they're going to do it once, you do it really well and pay the high price tag for it. Like, it's kind of.
They do have the 3-in-1 castle if you want the cheaper option, and that's often at like £70. I think I got 3 or 4 of them at £70 each in a sale.
Yeah, because there was a lot of. Because I think they released that, and it was about a year or two before the Lion Knights came out. So on Rebrickable, there was a lot of. Get 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, I did one with 3, the Mock Scout one, which was really cool. It was 3 instructions, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
And then the Lion Knights Castle came out, and I took it apart and got that.
I think the alternative would be to have the size of the Lion Knights Castle, but don't get it as a one set, but rather as modulars, but which then not like the Harry. I love the Harry Potter modulars, but they are open and they are compromised builds. So you will never have a real Hogwarts. But can you imagine if you had a castle or a Hogwarts castle, you buy singular installments over years and end up with a whole building, but always be able to buy the whole line, not like the modular buildings retire, and then if you are late to
it was the sort of thing when they first had Rivendell come out, because I looked at that and it's like you could do that as 3 different bits, like 3 separate, similar to what you're saying. And I think it may have actually been Craig or Brickstage Pass who really pointed out, it's sort of like, but the nice thing with doing it the Rivendell one is they can do it as a one and done, like, so you can get it all. They don't have to do it as like a line or whatever, and it's kind of like, I get that, and it's sort of like, because it's when we were doing the Harry Potter ones a couple of years ago, particularly when they went on sale, like you could actually get them and build them up over a period of time, and it didn't feel like you're spending 400 or 500 in one go. Because. And I think it's more because of Ollie's Reel lately, when he started doing his Rivendell one. It's like, I really want that one now.
It is really good.
Like,
yeah,
it's always been there. And it'd be the same sort of thing. If you could get that in pieces, like, pay 150 for that little third, 200 for this or whatever. Like, what is it? Normally 420 or something pounds?
Yeah, 430.
Like, it's
a lot. Yeah, I only justified it with double points and GWPs, and I thought, well, there's a bit of a risk. I think I talked to you about it, but getting cash back on it as well, which was unsure whether it'd work or not, and it looks like it's not going to work. But and plus for myself, I was like Christmas money from various people, and ended up not actually being that much from myself to put in.
But that's when you're doing
it
as what you're doing it. It's sort of like, okay, this is a Christmas present. I'm pulling different ways to get it. It's not like you just walked into the Lego store or Amazon and went, right, okay, here, I just spent considered purchase, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I'd convinced myself I didn't want it as well. And then it was on here, and then Trev was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna like, I think he was saying something about getting money off of various people, and I was like, I could do that for Rivendell. And then I went on a mission.
Oh, so you're blaming Trev on it?
Yes,
for this.
it's all
okay.
Trev's fault. He's an influence.
He's such an enabler. He just sits there quietly.
Usually it's Nicole.
Only
Two
for
of them now.
Amazon Germany. I'm just in charge of Amazon Germany.
I enabled someone last weekend. I think I've made helped make a new AFOL. A friend. So my wife's friend's partner. It was like he messaged kind of out the blue. It was like, oh, he found my Lego Instagram, and I was like, oh, that's random. But okay, cool. And then he's like, oh yeah, I really want to get a Lego set. What should I get? So I gave him like this little Star Wars set, and now the next day he went and bought Hogwarts Castle and Grounds. He's just finished that yesterday. It's like, what do I do? What do I have to do now? It's like, I just want to buy all of it. And I was like, this is such a similar story to mine. So I've had to be like, I don't know, I feel like there's repercussions from, I could get a bad name for myself from my wife's friend. So I've had to be like, you have to make really considered purchases because you can just go crazy. And he's like, yeah, I just want to buy it. Just, yeah, so I was like, pick a theme or two and try
Stick
to
with it.
them. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, what is a theme? Someone else said that. And yeah.
And you started him off with Star Wars?
Yeah, and your little one, Obi-Wan Kenobi's. He wanted a Star Wars set, so I'd taken the figures out of it anyway. And I was like, well, I'm not going to do anything with this. So yeah, you can have that. Felt apt. I started with Star Wars, coming out of my dark ages again.
I know, it's just, I started with Marvel and moved on to Harry Potter. And then I moved over to Star Wars.
Okay. Yeah, I went to Star Wars. What did I get? Star Wars, and then very similar thing next day. I got it on Christmas Day. On Boxing Day, went to Smith's and it was shut, but went the next day to get the NASA Space Shuttle. And then I think I got modular. And I think I got Assembly Square pretty soon after that.
I love that. Like that is the way it goes, isn't it? You just casually walk out with a modular, like
Yeah.
not like a small set. Went in for this, came out with a modular.
Yeah, it got out of hand incredibly quickly. And at the time, I do remember at the time being like, what's going on here? Like,
Yeah, as soon as you walk out, you're like, what?
yeah.
That was like when I walked out with the bugle, and that was purely because it was so annoying. I blame that random guy because it was like I've been wanting it for ages. That and Diagon Alley are like the two that like I've been wanting from the beginning, from like day one. Still got to get Diagon Alley, and like we saw that the bugle was just slightly reduced. We'd never seen it reduced ever in Smiths, but it was slightly reduced, and I was like, no, we cannot buy that. I really talked myself out of it. And obviously Aaron was kind of like on the fence because he was like, he really wanted us to get it, but also like, fair enough, like, yeah, money and stuff.
Yeah.
And we were literally walking out of the Lego aisle, and then I heard this other guy ask the salesperson, excuse me, can you get me one of the bugles? Because it was one of the high up ones that you couldn't just like take on the shelf.
Yeah.
And I was like, Aaron, we have to get the bugle now.
Some random guy getting it.
Some random.
That's why we got it, because I was like, they're going to run out of stock and like they won't have the deal on and all. Like that's when you start justifying it and you're like, so.
I hope they don't listen to you, because I think they hire now someone who just randomly walks through the aisle. And...
Oh my god, it was a setup. Oh.
You can see that person's weak. We can get him.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah.
I just need to quickly catch up on the chat because there's been a lot of people in the chatty chat there. Planet Tech Matt, Paige is asking why you call it a build stream and she never sees you build anything. Well, that's because I just keep a lot of interesting conversation going. But yeah, there is stuff I am building. Like, so I've thought about that sometimes too, because I take the time to put a different thumbnail on. And it's like, I don't think I ever show half the time what I'm doing.
That's a very good point.
But if I wanted to be cheeky, it's because I have a double standard. I like to go on Tech Stream and give him grief about building. His stream the other day, he had a shocker with that mask. And I don't want people to do that to me. Like, What else? London Predator Angler. Nice to see you along. I don't think I've seen you in before, so welcome along. Hope that you're going well. Happy New Year. And oh, is that just changing? Okay, yeah. I did see something there. So, Brickstop, greetings from Billund. Great stream as ever. Thank you very much for that. Great to. If you're over in Billund, chances are you're obviously working for Lego or something related with them. Hope that. So, is there anything in particular that you do that you can actually comment on? And Brickscene, about a year ago, New Zealand had some pretty horrible floods and things like that, and affected them pretty badly. So yeah, it's like a year on now. So, and Brickstate's past Trevor Baker Matt, not quite sure. Sort of referring to it there, but Evening Craig, how's that build coming along? We were talking about Trevor at Brick Kingdom. Okay, that's where that's coming from. Saying hello to a few people there. Red Carnage, hope you're well. Oh, is it talking about? Okay, Baz is switching accounts again there. Don't know what happened. Brickstage Pass, yeah, they do look good, and I think he has every set as well. Not sure if he started the Venator yet. Saying hello to a few different people. Compared to a lot of our friends, maybe Thomas. Yeah, I think after that pod racer, I'll cut Sam out. He's too tall. Yeah, I think the other thing too is when Tech was building on the stream, it's like, don't you have a pod racer mock that you might need to get done relatively soon? Red Carnage, Batlord Vampire Net from the CNF is superb. I always like the aesthetic. Castles aren't expensive. It's the figures that are, as you don't need a decent amount. And the walls of villages to bring to life. That's why the lines. That's Castle's good. Did somebody say Harry Potter? I think I did at some stage there. Happy New Year, Sam Perry. Hope that you're going well. Good to see you along. Monarch, I've grown to appreciate the one-off theme sets. It gives you a chance to own a Lego set, but not be burdened with having to have them all. Yeah, that's the thing. And sometimes too, they can really focus time and energy, because if you look at, say, one of my favorite sets recently, the Horizon Tall Neck.
That's what just sprung to mind as well, actually. That's a great example of it.
Of, not having done all of them with that. Big people saying hi to Sam, a bit of back and forth, trying to just get caught up. Hopefully you're well. What about the houses of the world? Got to build them all. I'm sure they appeal to someone. I've never met them, heard of them, or know anything about them, but okay.
Carrie Brickbod is the only person I know that's been keen on them, I think.
Okay, so they're all for Carrie. So
yeah.
Monarch, I've been able to get a few friends to borrow Lego. Totally not sorry.
Yeah, no, I've got a local Lego friend, so I'm fine with that.
I've got the Frightening Nights, the tournament night. Those are 25 to 30 per fig. Black Falcons, Red Falcons, Red and Green, Dragon Knights, Crown Knights, and of course the recent Lion Knights. There's a lot of knights there which I didn't even know existed. So
I need to dig through all the stuff from when I was a kid. I've got a big bag of it.
Monarch, I got in Assembly Square and then bought a certain friend set to mock for a certain mocks stream. Thomas Missett, and that got me into Lego Friends, and now, well, Lego Addicts. So yeah, carefully, the castle is definitely expensive to army build. I think we've probably all seen it shy at Brickworld Chicago last year. You just sort of look at that and it's like, that's impressive for lots of different reasons.
And that was probably kind of one of the cheaper ways to army build, right? It was a lot of more modern figs.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it was off of Pab and all of that. So, yeah, it could have been so much more if he'd done it purely off of like Bricklink, stuff like that.
And KO, welcome along. Hope that you're going well. Happy New Year. And what are you up to? What's going on in your part of the world? I think I saw possibly you were streaming a game on Twitch or something yesterday, the day before. Red Carnage, that Batlord CMF is fire. Redmond, Matt's got 2 bricks. He keeps switching around just to say he's building. Yeah, well, shh, don't tell anyone. And Barry coming, LPA is me. Yeah, I think I kind of picked up on that. I can be a bit slow. Monarch Houses of the World are great. Parts packs, nothing more. Okay. I'm just like, really expensive parts packs, but okay.
Yeah, I can understand the price point on them.
Yeah.
Have you
220
seen the current one, the car? It surprised me that the threshold was rather high.
Yeah, was it? I think it's 170.
170 pounds?
Yeah.
I want to say that last year it was it 130, 150?
I can't remember. It's usually around the price of a modular, isn't it? I think. Huh? Has Maxine changed?
Different camera.
Right.
The camera keeps going to sleep and we can't work out why. So I've just given up with it now. It's a new vlogging camera, so it's not really for using as a webcam. But
I hope it's not judgment of us like these guys are boring. I'm
Yeah.
out of it.
yeah.
But is it, since you switched your setup around, have you restarted your computer?
No.
Okay.
No. Wait,
Sometimes-
it's just well, I think Aaron said it's like it's got an overheating like setting to turn off, but it's not hot. So I think it's just I don't know. It's very, very new. Like we've not really used it very much yet. So it's very snazzy though. I do like it. It's got my Rode mic on top. So I'm having this out on Bricktastic. Hello everybody. Hello. I've done a voice for it. Don't really know why. But yes, I'll be that annoying person with like a camera in people's faces and like not seeing where I'm going and stuff like that. But it's just because up until now, like most of my filming for my content and like out and about and stuff has been using my phone, and it just chokes up all your memory. So we just thought it was about time just to get like another camera and something that I can use, like these snazzy Rode mics that I got like through a grant a while back. I was like, yeah, let's just go for it this year. 2024 is the year, man. So
I just couldn't. I'm going to be the nosy now. I like your setup that you got there. Everything's kind of backwards. You got let's draw, and then
yeah, none of this is mine because this is Aaron's hobby room. So yeah, he's got his room sort of sorted. Just needs to sort out the Lego room. But no, he's got like his Warhammer and his what are these guys called? I'm gonna say Shatterpoint. Anyone that collects minis, this is like a Star Wars like range that they do called Shatterpoint, and he's just got them. He likes to do these like Secret Santa things online. Like you can do loads of different ones. There's like I think there's Lego ones out there as well. And he took part in like a kind of Warhammer sort of one this year. And someone gifted him like some Shatterpoint, so he actually like returned a bunch of Warhammer so that he could go and buy like this massive box that comes with like all these figs. I say figs because I don't really know what the Shatterpoint mini like kind of name for them is, but like yeah, they're really cool. So he gets them like obviously not made up. He has to build them and then he paints them. So he's got the Star Wars range that's really cool. It's like Ashoka and all the clones and things like this.
Those are cool.
Bo-Katan, Captain Rex, 501 Clone Troopers, Anakin. Yeah, and you can actually like play the game with them and stuff as well. So it's really cool. So and he's really good at his painting and everything like that. So they will look really good when they're painted up. But he's like much been the same as me. Like in the old flat, we just didn't have the space to be able to do that. So he's trying to crack through it all now. And yeah,
do that
there.
Really... And just out of interest, is there any significance to the Nike shoes?
Oh, those, yeah, he like bought them recently, and I didn't even realize he had no shoes on his feet. I don't know why he's put them up there. I think it's the usual way where you like spend a bit on shoes, and you're like, I'm never really going to wear these now, especially because they're so white.
Yeah.
No, he has worn them outside a few times, but yeah, they're for special occasions, I think. That's why they're, because I asked him that as well. I was like, why are they suddenly on the shelf? They were on your feet the other day. I don't know. I think he's worried that Nova might poop in them or something. I have no idea. I only say that because I had a whole thing with chasing after her naked around the house the other day, because she started to like sort of run a little bit, and it's this whole thing. She was about to go in the bath, but she'd done a poo. I had to chase her. And I was like, don't sit down on the carpet. And she was like, ah! She thought it was like so funny running. She thinks getting chased is hilarious. So I'm like, Aaron, there's a poopy baby. Like, loose her in the house.
It's the sort of thing that parents can fully understand. I'm sure Nicole they're going, okay, this is really it's sort of like, and I thought I was the weird one. No, this is
like the norm.
But yeah, you get to a point, it's like kids doing dumb things, particularly like that, or if they're running around with paint or something, like it's like minimize the carnage. Like, just how can he like there is a mess that's coming.
You have to pick your battles as well. Like, there's been what was it Aaron let her do the other day? I think it was, to be honest, he was just being lazy and couldn't be bothered stopping her. But like, he was like, I actually looked through the door, and he was running her bath, and she'd followed him through, and the toilet roll had just been pulled all the way down the hall.
Yeah.
And I was like, why aren't you stopping her? And he was like, she's tired, and she's just
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm gonna have to roll that up because I know you won't. And then he didn't, and I was like, just to make a point, I'm not gonna roll it up, and just flush it in the toilet. And then it blocked the toilet, and I was like, oh, for God's sake. So yeah, that was that. But it's so funny when they get to a point where they're just like, they don't know how to handle emotions. Like, tech, you're gonna have this like before you know it with your little one, with Penelope. But Noah's going through this thing where it's like she gets angry. The other day there, she fell over, right? I was just sitting on the couch, and she fell over in front of me, like no fault of mine. And she got really annoyed, and she came over and hit me. And I was like, what to do with it? Okay. I didn't trip you or anything, but she just didn't know what to do with the rage, so she just hit me. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. That's the sort of thing up until about the age of 4. As a parent, the main thing you're trying to deal with is just them learning how to deal with emotions.
Yeah. Yeah, it's some of it's fun. You've got to laugh sometimes because you're just like, what else can you do? But it is so weird. It is bizarre. But yeah.
And then I saw Monarcha calling me Matt out there. Matt taking a leaf from Greg, exploring backgrounds. I see. Well, look, it's people have some interesting things, and this time it's largely not Lego. So it's like, cool to see. At least I do it when the person's there.
Not just snooping while they go pooping.
Yeah. That's, okay. Anyhow, moving on. KO currently designing, updating my secret 2 pieces, too pricey and rare as times pass. Cabbage, welcome along. Happy New Year.
Hello,
Hope that you're going well. I loved it last week. You may not have seen it. We did some clips from the years, and one of yours came out, and I thought that was hilarious. KO Saboni Brick is a Star Wars superfan now. Be careful what you say to him, Matt. Yeah, I know. It's as she was explaining like what he's doing in terms of painting them and everything, it then really puts people's complaints about stickers into perspective. It's sort of like, well, you're complaining about taking the sticker off from here and putting it there, where you got to build it, paint it, like, actually.
Yeah, he hates the building part, which is funny, obviously, thinking like about Lego, a separate hobby, obviously. But like, yeah, I can get it. I can understand why though, because I ended up being roped into helping him with some building at one point, and it's like, yeah, it's just not. But it's one of those hobbies that people like different parts of it. So some people like to like build them, and some people just only like to paint them, and then some people only like to play with them. So it's like, it just depends what part of it you like, I suppose. But But then there's people that don't like to build Lego, but they'll like the display at the end. Because I've got a few friends that say that they want like the Hogwarts castle, but they don't want to have to build it and things like this.
Yeah, I've heard this. Like, not just necessarily that set, but yeah, people being like, "Oh, you have to actually build it." I remember seeing something about. I think it was someone in a Lego shop posted on Facebook saying they had someone return a set because they didn't realise that you had to actually build it yourself.
Yeah, and I'm like, how did you think that
when
fit?
did you think you were? Like,
Yeah. How did you think it fit in the box, flat packed? Like, what?
yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Obviously, somebody who has no idea of Lego, never seen anything, walked past and gone, "That's awesome! I want that."
Yeah.
Yeah, you
But
kind of
like, oh,
assume that
yeah.
everyone knows what Lego is, but obviously
Yeah.
not.
Funny.
Oh. Do you think these guys would know how long it takes to build it? Because I wonder whether there's a business like, okay, if you would pay me, I would be willing to build it for you and then hand it over.
Yeah. Go talk to some of the big YouTubers who pay people to build their UCS sets or any of the other sets.
That is true. They must get people to do that, because they don't have the time. There's no way.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, but the YouTubers, I would, it would take away from a YouTuber who wants to do a review of it. I would expect this YouTuber to have built it as well, unless he tells just about the final product and openly tells, okay, I know no idea about the building product.
Yeah, some of them do it. I know, who is it? M&R has people build stuff. I think Brixie's wife might help him out every now and then.
Yeah, I think she just does a lot of Disney stuff, but
yeah.
But I mean, or some of them maybe just give up on stuff. A lot of them gave up on the Eiffel Tower, didn't they? Like I think Emma sort of
yeah.
I think Brixie did it, but then he accidentally destroyed it, and I don't know if he ever built it again.
But then it would be a fair review then. If the result of the building experience would be, okay, look at it, beautiful, but be aware, if you want to build it, it's 2 months of your life. And
thoroughly boring. And even
to
be fair, even not finishing it is a valid review, right? Because it's like, this is as far as I could take Bear to do it for.
Yeah. I don't know of any good reviews of the building experience of the Eiffel Tower. I think everyone was just like in awe of it, but like building it, it was just horrendous.
I think the only one which I seen was partially positive was the Plastic Architect. But I think that was more because it was sentimental to her and, you know, her family and things like that. But yeah, otherwise, I don't think there was quite a number of the land people didn't finish it, or, you know, you could tell that they it was shot from a very peculiar angle on some things.
It's half just propped up in the corner.
But you could see like the Eiffel Tower, Colosseum, quite a number of builds which can be quite repetitive, and there seem to be a lot of the architecture ones which
I could imagine that if someone never built mosaic, the word card, the big one, the blue one, really had to sit down and put stud after stud down and look at the number of pieces again and realize, hey, those were 100.
Yeah.
Bernard, the fact someone paid big money for a product they had no idea about is baffling. On the one hand, I agree with that. On the other, I don't, because you see there's, what's the nicest way to say it? There's some really stupid people out there. So, I mean, part of it is you look at some of the warning labels that you get on things, and it's like, what had to happen for you to feel the need that had to go on there?
Yeah.
You know, it's like hair dryers are sometimes some of the funniest ones, or there's some other things, and it's like, you know, do not use this product underwater in your electricity. And it's sort of like, what were you ever thinking to, like...
I get it with one, doesn't it? Like, it just takes one idiot.
Well, have you never tried the like trick where you're like on a inflatable raft and you put the hairdryer in the water and it's like a jet? Never tried that. Don't do it.
I was going to say,
Quick
can you
disclaimer.
demonstrate in one of your upcoming streams because it sounds like you're onto a winner. A set that looks great and wouldn't want to build it. Many Eiffel Tower ones now have a large, dark blue grey part collection of the And I'm just trying to think. Most of the ones that I've seen who've built it, I'm just thinking who got it because dark bluish grey. Generally, if you're doing Star Wars mocks, it lends itself beautifully to that.
Mm.
I don't think most of them are Star Wars fans or mockers. It's kind of like
Yeah, it's still a lot of money to spend, even if you're just going to par it out, like sort of thing. Because there's a lot of technical, isn't it, as well?
And there's someone who got it for half price, second hand, which at that price I think be alright. And I think it came like in 3 sections, so they didn't actually have to build it. I think so. That might be the best way to go about getting it.
But does that then mean that the person that they bought it from bought it for the building experience?
Yeah, it sounds like. I think they must have had to sell it quite quickly. I think there's personal circumstances or something. But
Ollie's wife found out a purchase he made.
That is not one you can hide very easily. That's the beauty of buying random little ones.
Can you imagine like Chris getting that set? That would be so funny. You must build this. Oh, I think he would cry. Like you can't build any other Lego until you've built this.
Built that. I think in that case it'd be like, get him that large Technic crane, like the 450 pound one or something.
At least that has like a bit of fun at the end. Like you can actually like play with it or get it to bring you some tea or something. I don't know.
That assumes that you got all the gearing right, which
Oh god, yeah.
You could use the Eiffel Tower to hang your coat on, hang your washing on to dry.
I'm so glad that you added that. Like, can you use the Eiffel Tower to hang on? Hang yourself on.
Probably.
No, I'm pretty sure that was one of the disclaimers on the box. Cannot be used for drying and washing.
Do not recommend for. It's the tallest Lego set. Not recommended for capital punishment purposes. And then Monarch there. Did many buy it? I only saw people who got people got it for free.
I did actually see someone buy it in the Lego shop around, I think, September time. I did see someone buy it, an old boy, but I don't know how many people would actually.
I could imagine the all the completionists, because it came with a gift with purchase. If you want the apartment,
Because is it part of the architecture line, or is it?
I don't think so, is it?
It can't be, can it?
I didn't get the impression it was based on the box, like it was its own.
So icons or something.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was expensive, so it fits into the architecture lineup. Another warning label. Yeah, peanuts may contain nuts.
Yeah. Classic.
I don't know.
I'd be concerned with the may, if anything. I'd be like, I want nuts in my peanuts. Like,
yeah.
It's like what comes in the vegetarian patties? Generally it's plant based. Sometimes has a little bit of meat, but nothing to be too concerned about. It's not architecture set. It'll be icons if anything.
Yeah.
No, sometimes you get those warning labels, and again, you'd see like you go into like a website and it'll have all the different ones, and I challenge anyone to go through about 50 of them and not laugh. It's just like. Joking aside, the amount of vegan products that may contain milk is shocking. Yeah. And Mad Lib, it's part of the icons.
Is that one that you've got, Martin, to go with your UCS collection?
It's just, I had almost the exact same thought as I put that comment up. It's like, we've just been taking the mickey out of it, and it's probably like his pride and joy or something. Like, I'd be like, no, he's clarified no. But is it on one of your lists? Because cool. Just before the stream, Bonnie was streaming over on hers with doing some of the new CMF box openings. How did you get on with that? Because I saw part of it, but then had to jump off and try to organize this lot.
Yeah, no, it was good. It's definitely like, I think the way to go now. I think if you want to, like, if you're like a completionist, or if there's a line of CMFs that you want to get all of them for, like maybe just pitch in and go, like, because we got 3 complete sets in the box in the end, but we're obviously just going to keep 1 and sell the other 2. Trevor's going to take 1, and then we'll have another one as well to sell, because it still works out the same price. Because I did the math, like there might be some wholesalers that'll maybe sell them, so it'll be actually work out maybe a bit cheaper. But I worked it out, and it was still like $3.50 a minifig sort of thing, and at least that way you're guaranteed to get them all. But like the order of them in the box wasn't what I was expecting. It was really bizarre. We've like made a note of it so we can like put it on Instagram or something like that for people to see, because I think mine's was basically the same order as Mad Libs, because he did his unboxing as well the other day there. And I can't remember exactly what yours was, Mad Libs, but I remember like your first few were like the detective, for example, and then the first few in the same section was the detective for us and stuff like that. So yeah, no, it's good though. I was like so excited to actually get them, because I've like obviously seen so many images of the new CMFs, but like not looked at them in like hard detail. And I was just excited. I feel like it's been ages since I've had a CMF series, because we didn't really get many of the Marvel ones, because we didn't think to try and really look for a wholesaler to get the box.
Yeah, I went in on a box with someone.
Yeah.
In fact, Omega, if he's still on here, was with him and Navy Bricks, and yeah, it's a good way to do it.
Yeah, so I missed out on those ones. So there's like most of them were still to get, because we just started to get so many duplicates, and it just was getting expensive. And I was like, there's not even a guarantee we'll get the ones that we need. So kind of bummed about that, because I thought the Marvel series was like a really good line, but we know for next time. And I didn't actually know of a wholesaler at the time, but Mad Libs now obviously told me where he gets his from. So in future, yeah, recommend it, and it's fun. It's quite good fun opening a whole box, but obviously it's like you need to put that money aside to be able to buy them like all.
How much is it for a whole? It's about 90 odd quid, 100 quid.
It was like 100 and I think it was like 120. Like it worked out £3.50 per one. Yeah, but you could probably get it maybe cheaper at other ones. But like, I didn't have any beef with like buying the equivalent of £3.50
How much does one box cost? It's €4 in Germany.
Yeah, it's £3.50 here, I believe, still.
Yeah. So £3.50. Now my mathematically talents 36 times £3.50. Yeah.
Someone do the math.
Here, Madeline. I don't know if it's right, but yeah,
thank you.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
So, yeah, but we knew that it would probably be able to like, because I already saw people starting to like try and sell them on Facebook Marketplace, like complete sets and stuff, and people are like wanting them and stuff. And I thought, well, actually, to be honest, if we're going to do this and actually make sure we get the whole set, then we have to do it quite early, because otherwise people will still start going out and trying to buy them, and less likely to want to then try and buy a whole series from someone. So but as I said, Trev's going to take a set because he wants them for him and his boys, so we'll just have the one spare.
Yeah, cool. Did you scan the barcodes at all by any chance?
No, just cracked them open. No, we just opened them up and like made sure we took a note of the order, and then like noted them all down. And yeah, I'm pretty sure mine was like the same as Mad Libs, if not very similar. So need to go back and check, compare. But yeah, it's just like, what are the chances though that you'll go into a store with a whole box?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's
someone who said they bought a whole box worth from like Tesco. Like they had them in a box on the shelf, and I think they took all of them, but they must have They didn't get a full set, so
No,
they
no.
must
So
have
there's
actually like mix them up a
there's
bit,
two.
or someone has at some point.
It's because like it'll probably be that they got like a whole like shelf of them, if that makes sense. So like the box comes with 2 tiers,
Yeah,
um,
okay.
and like it wasn't a full set on one tier or a full set on it.
Right,
They really
okay.
mixed them up. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't until we got to the second tier that we actually even got some for the first time. If that
Okay.
makes sense. Or like
Yeah,
we
yeah.
got like 3 in the first tier and stuff like this because it was 3 of each. So
Right.
that is, yeah. If people think that's the way to buy them, then definitely not. Like, yeah, you need to buy a full box of 36 or buy them
Yeah.
from people, basically.
Yeah. It's a bit ridiculous.
Because Ollie, you were saw in the group chat that you'd been buying some individual ones, and then you've been looking at some of the barcodes, and the barcodes were like the QR codes.
They did
kind of
actually match up. Like, so I bought 5. I bought 10 overall. I bought 5 on the weekend or last week on the weekend, and yeah, on New Year's Eve even. And then yesterday I went back and scanned. Happened to still have the boxes, and went back and scanned them because I got this QR code on them, and there's these codes on Reddit or on the internet which match up to certain figures, and it all matched up. Like, yeah, the codes matched
Exactly.
with what I'd got. But then I went in today, and 4 of the ones I got didn't have the QR code that you could scan, had a different type, which didn't have any kind of discernible or like any useful information. And then the one that did have the QR code that you can scan, the code that was on it was different to all the lists anyway. Like, I think I was meant to get a train boy. I think it was a train boy for the European one, or if it was an American one, it was meant to be the detective, and I got Harpy, so it was neither of them. So, well, yeah. So I'm not gonna trust like the whole code scanning thing just from off that experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does seem to be
Okay.
mixed because, yeah, I did have them. The others were exactly right, and I think Carrie Pickbod got a bunch today, and they've been scanning right. But yeah, different batches must have different codes.
Yeah, because I know in the previous CMF, was it the Disney one? What was the one before this, which was in the box? Or was it Marvel?
The Marvel one.
Marvel.
Yeah, I'd seen that on somebody again on the internet had gone through and said, yeah, if you've got the QR code within this range, it's this figure, this range is da 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 da. But I never had anybody actually see that and go through and verify it and go, oh yeah, I followed this and I got the exact same one.
I don't know if there's a thing with maybe they're manufactured in different countries and then kind of brought together.
But that's because you went back to the same shop just 2 days apart.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's possible that, you know, they got to... Just trying to think how you would, because it's like, yeah, okay, you could potentially get from 2 different suppliers, but within the same sort of pallet or delivery. Like,
that's it. I think it was probably the same delivery. There was a lot less. There's probably less than half as many today as there was the other day. So they must have been popular. To the point where I think they've even actually... It seemed like they've almost... Well, maybe not permanently, but they didn't have as much space allocated for CMFs as they did the other day. They had something else, a different like Disney collectible thing in its place.
Yeah, sort of. If they're selling down of it and got something else to put down on the shelf at the same time. I mean, it's always hard to tell, but social feed I've sort of seen there's been a few people going around like the stores and like all the boxes are open.
Yeah, I saw one of them. But I don't know how they, it must be like kind of hidden away. I was thinking about like you couldn't get away with doing that in the shops I've seen them because they're quite like open or near the tills.
Yeah.
So if you did it, you'd have to be an absolute ninja to open them all up.
I have doing it. It's yeah. I mean, I've never been a fan of it just from the gambling aspect, and it sounded like earlier you certainly that was coming a bit more to your forethoughts.
Yeah, it's definitely feels like gambling much more with these boxes, and there's something that doesn't quite sit right with me because I enjoy it, but then it is a gamble, and then it's like, well, this is a kid's thing, and you know, I like knowing what I'm spending my money on, I suppose.
Because it is much the same. There's been with our lug. There's been a number of us get together, and the idea is basically buy these boxes, which I think somebody has, and then just go through it and make up the sets out of that. And we just accept that if they're not all there, then okay, there might be some missing or something. But it just almost seems ridiculous that you've got to go to that extent just to get like and much the same with sounds like Bonnie's obviously doing it, and we're all sort of starting to have thoughts in that direction, because that was the thing with when previous New Year's Day you go in for New Year's, and at least at the Blue Water Lego store they would have pre-felt bags in like collections, so you buy the collection as such. They limit you to one. But
or even if you wanted particular ones, you could go in, because I remember last year I only wanted 5 of them. So I was like, "Have you got these?" And I was like, "Yep, there you go, there you go, there you go." Yeah. And the Disney ones. Yeah.
And they also did the same thing at Leicester Square. Like you go in there, just behind where they have the Aston Martin car, they'd have like just a little round table set up there, and pre-felt, or if you wanted a certain one, come over and have a chat to us, and we'll try to deal with it. And
that was what amazed me about Leicester Square, was how there was people getting paid to fill the Lego bag. There's no way I could to have a job like that. I can't imagine having a job like that these days, but maybe when you're younger, when you work in retail, that's kind of thing you get to do.
I enjoy the fun of buying figures and not knowing what you're going to get. And Monarch, I don't agree with it either, but they are collectible. Mystery Market is huge, so they may be what they jumped onto.
I don't know if I agree with the safety in numbers aspect of it. It doesn't make it right.
Yeah, it's combined. There's a whole marketing thing that it's called manufactured scarcity and all sorts of things. It's like, oh, this will be limited edition. They make 1 million of them. It's like, you're limited to 1 million. It's that idea that something is going to be scarce when it's actually not. And certainly, I do have an issue with it, because, and to some degree, Lego have stayed a lot out of a lot of these, what I call more hype-driven techniques. Okay, yes, you still get some regional exclusives and a San Diego Comic-Con and whatever else, but there's not many of them, whereas you get some other toys and collectibles and things like that, and that's what they just do as bread and butter. And it seems when they do that, you are creating more of a speculator's market and pandering to that. And I think if Lego is going to remain true as a construction-based toy, you've got to be doing that if you are around the edges. That can't be, if it becomes a core part of your business, I think your business is then changing quite significantly. Are we about making plastic bricks for kids to build, or are we about trying to create a false sense of scarcity so it can sell a ton more product than we would otherwise?
Yeah.
But the reason that is wasn't at some point the reason been told to us that the goal of it is communication. The kids are supposed to mingle and exchange, talk to each other, find out which do you have, which do I have, do I have something that you want, then make someone else happy by having something that they want. It's sharing and exploring.
Look,
I'm not serious.
Okay, that's the first time I've heard that, and I'm just having a quick little thought in the process of it.
If that does actually happen, if there are kids, I know I've heard, not necessarily from Lego, but I've heard people saying like, "Oh, you could trade them on the playground," and I mean, obviously we're adults and we don't go hang out in playgrounds, but yeah, well, I would be intrigued to see if that is something that kids actually do or not.
Well, the thing with the kids for us sometimes it goes in waves. It will come in at school for a couple of weeks, a month or two. Definitely the Pokemon cards, and then that eventually creates issues, and then we get the communication from the school. Right, we've decided to ban kids bringing in Pokemon cards because you get.
That happens with us as well. Like at school, like the things I think the schools are just out to purge happiness, because I remember like. Bearing in mind this was a primary school, so it was like 4 to 11-year-olds. Somehow the entire school managed to, like, in the space of a lunchtime, do a massive conga line right around the school. Like, organise it themselves. 4 to 11-year-olds managed to organise themselves. And like it was all years mingling, and just for the fun of it. And they banned it. Like no one got hurt. No one was offended by said conga
that's
line.
actually quite a nice thing.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah. Anyway.
Was this in Scotland?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, no. No.
They banned Pokemon cards at our school as well, and even the janitor liked to do it. Like the janitor would be one of your go-to people to go and trade with, and.
Oh really?
Yeah. Don't know.
Yeah.
Don't get.
I think the challenge that our kids at the school face is you had this year 7 and 8 kids taking advantage of the year 3 and 4 kids. Like, I'll trade you one of these cards for those 5, and it's sort of like that's never was going to be weighted correctly and things, and just it's always a fine line, but
It makes me sad imagining that actually. Like, oh, I've just lost my shiny Raichu. I don't know.
Monarch, I love the swap shop side of things. Why not set up trading clubs for?
It would be a good thing at like exhibitions.
Yeah, that would be good actually. It's not something they do at any Lego events, is it? Really?
No, that I've seen.
Somewhere should start it. Pitch it as like a sustainable solution to the box problem. It's now wreaking havoc and causing people to ransack the boxes in the shops.
The level of problems that we have in this day and age.
I know, right?
But
because I think any stats.
Sorry, what were you saying?
I was just going to say, I wonder if they'll come out with any stats about like how much they've saved the environment by doing the cardboard boxes.
They're going to have to justify.
Yeah.
But those sorts of things, maybe I'm just on the cynical pessimist side of things. It's not the great place to start, but we've kind of been through it where they're not going to allow you to reuse them like they did with the cups and things like that.
Yeah.
The whole thing where you can't use the cups anymore, so you have to do this. It's like, well, you would have been happy.
That's actually made me more wasteful with the boxes, the pad boxes, I've got to say.
So wait, can we not reuse the boxes? I thought we could.
I think someone said you can, and you get some form of discount. But I don't.
You can, but you get the discount. I think it runs only till is either the end of this month or next month. So after that, you don't get the discount on the box. I think, as Ollie's sort of hinting at, there's no incentive for you to bring another box back in. So you might as well just, once you get your box, if you got it at home and you didn't particularly care, there's no financial incentive for you to bring it back in.
Yeah.
Why only offer the discount for a month? Like, what's the...
I think it's more just in the transition phase.
Oh, so people can transition from having that extra 75 pence.
Yeah.
I mean, they're coming into the Lego store to buy Lego. I think they can, I don't think they need the transition. Oh,
yeah, I don't know. I reckon it'd be, because it's like a hidden, potentially a hidden price increase as well. Because they're obviously saving money on not having to make the cups. Which you don't.
You're getting more Lego.
But yeah, you do get more Lego in there. So
But for the UK, what we've had in the last couple of years, 2 lots of price increases on the cups, or has it just been the one?
I think there's been 2. I've only seen one, this being the first one. I think since I got into it was 15. Oh, maybe it did go up a bit actually.
No, because definitely 2 years ago, it was only like, it was literally, no, maybe it was 3. We walked into the Lego shop and the cups used to be $12.90, was it $12.49, $12.99? And then they were like $14.99. And it's like, wow, okay, that's, and this was,
Yeah,
because the UK got hit first with all of these price increases, so nobody saw it coming. Whereas at least with the rest of the world, they were then told, okay, well, as of August, there's going to be a general price increase. And then we got a second price increase just across the board then.
Was this in, this was the one in New Year as well, was it? I think they just kind of snuck it in, right? It was literally on January 1st.
Year, I think it's not last year, the year before, I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah. Cheeky.
So, yeah, I'm just, hey. It worked out to, what was it? It's about a 25% price increase. So, you know, it wasn't something kind of trivial. It's not like, oh, okay, well, you know.
An extra 75p.
Yeah.
And Monarch, cheap way to get a mushroom girl army.
Yeah, the CMFs, yeah.
Right, what, doing the trades, yeah. I do like the mushroom girl. She is good, I have to say.
Yeah. So cute. Got them all above my head now.
One Brick said, my favorite Pokemon card was base set Venusaur.
Venusaur.
Venusaur. I'm seeing Venus and it's like Ven. It's like, no, this isn't. Come on, brain, mouth, tongue, connect.
Reboot.
Yes, cool. I think, well, with that, the other thing, which I don't know if you guys have sort of felt this, but the last week, the number of announcements and leaks, you're just like, I just recovered from like last year thinking about all the retired sets and then bang, 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 bang. Here's that bit that you want to hear. We'll start it off with, I think, I'm sort of thinking of it as the equivalent, hear me out, of last year's Up House in terms of good price point, generally something somebody likes, and that is the buildable Stitch. What are people's thoughts on that?
I'll let you go, Maxine.
Hi. I'm excited. Stitch everywhere. Wait.
Oh, Bonnie, can you hold it closer to the camera?
I don't know if you could hear that. I didn't buy that. That was bought for me for Christmas, so I did buy this though. But no, I'm super excited. I think what you're saying is right, Matt. Though, but like, it seems like it's the new like Up House sort of thing, like the price point, and also like the people that they're maybe trying to hit with the market. I saw the Instagram post by the designer actually, talking about it, like mentioning like, oh, here's the first images of the set that I helped with, and he actually mentions in it that it's because they're really trying to appeal to girls as well. So that did make me wonder, oh, is that why they went with like the Hawaiian shirt and the flower and stuff like that?
But it's, colours. You're saying like trendy colours, and then the flower makes more sense. Well,
I mean, obviously, like I hope it's very obvious, but I am a girl, but I don't really feel like I need it to be Hawaiian with flowers and stuff like that. Like I'm more like, oh, I maybe would have preferred like the red suit with extra arms and all this kind of stuff, or like just a blue Stitch. But as you guys already know, because I've said in the chat, I've like got a really cool idea. I've not told you what the idea is yet, but I'm super excited. It does mean probably buying about 4 on release day.
Massive Stitch.
Yeah, I've got all the tabs up on my computer with all the images, like how I'm going to do this. Like it's going to be epic. It's gonna be so good. I'm so excited.
Nice.
But yeah, and I think I'm happy with the price. Like I'm happy to pay that. I think that's good. And the eyepieces, oh my god, like yes, like they look like new. They must be new pieces, like new stitch eyepieces.
Look.
So yeah, they're not like brick built. They're like
Yeah.
pieces. So
Oh, Mad Lib, they call me Mad Libby because I want one. And that's thinking about it in terms of you saying this, like your 1 year anniversary coming up soon, and I think one of the early videos which I came across on yours, Maxine, back when I think you were still Lego Lassie.
Oh yeah, back in the day. Back in the day.
Was your house double up and things like that. So
yeah, that's like my second most popular video. It's still like, it's funny going onto my analytics like these days. Like, actually, my top trending video is the light kit review I did of Rivendell, because I suppose everyone like is like Ollie right now and has just maybe got Rivendell for Christmas and stuff like this. And I did like a video comparing all the different light kits that you can get for Rivendell.
Nice.
Yeah, so check it out, Ollie, if you want to get a like it.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But yeah, the other one that did really well was the Uphouse one, because no surprise, everyone wanted to make it modular. So it wasn't like one of my better videos in how I did it, because I was still starting out and still trying to work things out. But it was so much fun. I loved doing that, and I cannot wait to do. Like, I'm going to redo it because I want to make it like a different sort of. I'm going to do the floors the same, but I'm just going to make it so it doesn't come together like this. It goes together like a modular.
I think it's still a popular idea. I saw I saw a reel of it yesterday, in fact, that someone had put up, where they were doing the challenge of
two sets,
completing it, and then realizing that it wasn't just as straightforward as buying two sets, and which a lot of people seem to have found, that you can't just buy two. You have to. Did you have to go and put an extra?
No, I managed to do it with two. Yeah. So the Uphouse video that I did was like, that was part of why it was fun, because I was like challenging myself to restrict myself to a bit. So what I did was just purely using parts from the two sets. But I now want to go back and redo it, and that might involve like using the odd piece from like not from the set. But I don't think it'll need a lot. Actually, it's really got like the bare bones of it. Like, it's fine, and I'm happy, as I said, with like how I've got the rooms and stuff. I just want to make it so it's like a modular that like sits floor on floor.
Nice. Yeah.
That's the only thing I want to change, but I don't know. I might end up like parking that just because it's sort of done, because I really want to like get on my Encanto house first, because I've got like 4 of those.
So that's the thing. Next Christmas, we all get you the same set and go, right, this is what you're.
You could like just make a massive Disney mug, like, as long as it's Disney.
Oh no, we didn't say it'd be Disney though.
Oh, it has to be Disney.
Let's see, what would be the most challenging and diabolical one?
As long as it's not 4 Eiffel Towers.
Nobody needs a quadrupleized Eiffel Tower in their life.
They really don't. It's already the tallest set. We don't need to like make a point.
Do something else crazy with it. So, just going to change gears, because we'll come back to that. Nicole needs to get off at some stage soon, because being where she is just like an hour in front and things like that. Before I do that, the one thing which I'll come back to you guys as well, is obviously we're in the new year, and in terms of what we want to do with our channels or social media and things like that, just kind of interested, Nicole, what would you like to do with your sort of social media, or in 2024 that you want to do in I guess the Lego space?
I think I made up my mind. I'm probably not going to do videos, at least not at first. I gave up on that because I really can't make my mind up. Either it's too controversial, but I'm really enthusiastic about it, or it's too dull, and I even get bored just by filming it, talking about it. It's by the end of me filming it, I'm already bored about it, so not good. On the other hand, I do not really want to be a channel to just focus on the drama. it would excite me, but it's not what I want to do. And so I think I will live stream and then maybe make videos out of that. If there is something to make videos out of. Maybe the live streams are so boring in itself. They will not get better by me making videos out of it. But at least that's a start to make live streams. I'm wondering if I should go to Twitch or whether YouTube would be a good place. I'm not really sure about that yet.
Yeah, it's a difficult one. Because I spoke to Greg about live streaming, and he said if you're going to just do live streaming, go to Twitch.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's so many people already on YouTube who seem pretty loyal to YouTube.
Yeah.
And you don't get ads in the middle of your streams unless you turn them on. Like, that's the main thing that puts me off Twitch. So it seems like there's lots of cool features, but getting adverts in the middle of a stream is really annoying.
But most recently, I see on YouTube live streams ads in the middle of the stream as well.
Yeah, at least they're like 5-10 seconds. They're annoying, but it's you get over the annoyance quite quick. But it can be like 2 minutes in the middle of it.
It's 2 minutes, and that's the thing which really bugs me about Twitch. The thing I love about Twitch is you get notifications. It's like, okay, I subscribe to that person. I know they do Twitch and YouTube, so I'll go to. But the adverts, like, to get into some streams now is like 2-3 minutes worth, and it's just like
that's so bad.
No. Yeah. And I think the other thing, like what you say in terms of, you know, even the mid-roll, like mid-film ones, like there's been some, and it's like, here's another 3 minutes of ads, and it's not like YouTube where you can skip them and whatever else. Again, that's just my bias. The other thing, because I mean, as much as when I stream to Twitch, it's more because I can press the button and it goes to 3 different places and things. The Twitch live streams, after, depending upon your account, disappear after 14 or 30 days. So they have to stay there, which, I mean, for some things that might be good.
Right. But I think you can use Twitch and YouTube both, and not only to stream, but to first Twitch, only live stream on Twitch, and then upload afterwards the video.
That's true.
Yeah,
I think that's what Craig and Co do, isn't it? I think they stream on Twitch and then upload it on YouTube.
And I know a couple of artists there in a completely different space. They do that. They'll have the live stream, and then maybe 2 or 3 weeks later, they'll then upload it to YouTube, sort of thing. So at least it's there. I don't know. Again, it might be personal bias. If there's a live stream, I prefer to watch it live if I can, because there's something to be said for the chat. Okay, yes, there's also the replay, which I also do like, because I can watch things at double speed.
Yeah.
So 3-hour live stream you can consume in an hour and a half. Like, it's just
right.
But so okay, excellent. So it sounds like you've got you're certainly making progress on being
not from a technical perspective. I'm still struggling with the technique. But maybe
I'm still so that's 4 or 5 years on. So don't worry about it. Just get started. So StreamYard does, which is what we sort of use, make it relatively straightforward. You've obviously already got your setup and everything there, so it's not going to be a massive jump, because linking it back to YouTube, like to do the live streaming, is relatively straightforward. So, and there's obviously we can help you out, or whoever it's to be able to do it. So brilliant, excellent. Well, I think with that, is there anything on your socials that you want to give a bit of a plug before you head out?
I'm going to meet Sir Awesome Fishy tomorrow. At 3 p.m. In the afternoon, UK time, 3 UK.
And that is on Instagram.
Yes, right.
Brilliant. All right.
That's one of the beauties of Instagram. I know that I have most recently a bit of problem to have someone else join me. It's a bit of try and error because the other one has to request, I have to invite. We do that a couple of times and eventually it works. But it's basically just one button that you can press, and that's it. I
Yeah.
like that.
Okay. Excellent. Well, yeah, we look forward to seeing your stream tomorrow, 3 o'clock UK time, with Sir Awesome Fishy over on Instagram.
Thank you.
Great to see you, and Happy New Year. And hopefully we will see you again very, very soon.
Yeah. And I promise you will not get rid of me that easily. I will haunt you. Not a threat, it's a promise. Oh.
Oh, fantastic exit.
Oh. Have a great evening.
Cheers.
Thanks,
See you
Nicole.
later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh dear.
And that's Nicole, everyone. So I don't think I've been writing down too many time codes for clipping tonight, so she might get away with those.
Oh, is that something that you do when someone's like said something a bit bizarro? I suppose that's the best way to do it if you're going to clip out spoofs and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, it's I sort of do that, and then I because over time just developed a little bit of a sort of like a template, or what I call like a little run sheet. So otherwise, I found if I don't have like little prompts in front of me, like particularly when you're closing out a stream or starting, there's always something you forget or something like that. So off to the side, that can put a place for any particular clips I want to come back to later on and things. Because certainly, if you have a 3-hour live stream and you go back looking for stuff, you know, it's very difficult to scrub through. It's kind of,
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Even when you put down the time codes, you're still sitting there and it's still, okay, I'm kind of in the right place. And you watch it and then you go back, you record it, and then save it, edit it, come back. Like it's interesting with what Nicole was saying in terms of by the time she's finishing filming it, she's bored with it. I know certainly when a lot of doing the longer format videos, the editing time is usually the killer on those things. Certainly there's probably footage for 100 different videos I've got just sitting around, all just waiting to go whenever I could be bothered editing them. So,
Yeah, I can imagine. I think because I've had my first little foray into reels on Instagram, and the beauty of that is that you can do it pretty quickly. And what Nicole was saying about it being boring, it's like doesn't seem to really matter because you get it out so quick and it's much more disposable. So people forget that it's even been a thing 5 minutes later. Well, at least that's my hope, because I'm sure I'm going to put some very boring stuff out.
It's also great for just testing ideas to sort of see, you know, I know it's a completely different animal in terms of the short attention spans and everything like that, and what you hit and things. But if you're not sure on something, you can just get it out there and you don't have to spend the 8, 10, 12 hours to edit your 10-minute video.
Yeah.
You can just sort of crank it out. I mean, that said, you see some reels and it's getting to the point now where people are really being slick with them and editing them and everything. It's like you spend just as much time as like what you would otherwise. But then the thing which I like about the longer form content, and even as Bonnie sort of said, you can do a video and a year later it's still got legs.
Yeah, that's true.
And it will keep going. And because I look at, there's a number of videos which I've got, which every day it's just a steady stream of views, and after 3, 4, 5 years, you know, that's 30,000-40,000 views. Like it's quite significant.
Because some of them are just slow burners, and that's the whole point of them. They're not like I mean, you can get like real peaks in ones that are about something current. So I suppose like releases, or like if you're looking at early leaks or something like this, like that, those kind of things, or like or if you've just been to like an event like Brickfest, Bricktastic or something, and you do a video about that, people tend to like watch it right after, but they're not going to watch it like a year later sort of thing. But like if you do, like I suppose with the Rivendell light kit one that I did, like not everyone's going out and buying a light kit at once.
Yeah.
Whereas
Okay.
like over time people might consider it, and then that's when they're looking for like something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, because I found something similar with the X-wing light kit. Very much the same. Like it's just slowly ticking away in the background, and I can sort of see it's like the same sort of thing. It's like, okay, you spent a couple £100 on an X-wing. Are you going to spend another 50, 60, 100 on a light kit? Like you are going to have a bit of a think about that. And it was interesting, something which we kind of joked around or sort of got kicked off earlier in terms of, okay, we have Lego as this, hobby that we're interested in, but then all the stuff now around it is becoming as expensive. So by the time you do a light kit and you do a display box or whatever, and then you have some drawers and some sorting and some space and some
Yeah,
it's a whole thing.
It's an expensive hobby, and some of it's not even Lego, like Lego's fault anymore. It's because we want all this stuff to go with it, or it's just it's that way where like all these other companies are being very clever and like realizing that there's a market there to make a product that doesn't like push them liable for like copyright or anything like that with Lego. But they're suiting it to Lego. Or even suiting it to other stuff as well. Like you've got like, what is it? Is it Wicked Brick that make Lego display minifigure stands to fit IKEA Calyx units? Like it's just like they're tying onto what everyone's doing. Like, they know that Lego people buy IKEA.
Yeah, that's the whole thing, right? We've all got really bookshelves and
they're in looking for the shelves. Oh, we can hit them again. Because that. Apart from the fact you look at that name and it's like, I can't even pronounce that because there's no vowels in it. Like, that's when anybody says it, I'm always fascinated. It's like, I know what you're saying. I don't know how those letters correspond with the sounds you're making. And it was just funny. It occurred to me as you're saying, for the most part, Bonnie, you're spot on in terms of they can be ancillary products, which doesn't necessarily infringe on the IP. The one I would say would probably be, and I haven't had a really good look at it, it'd be like the Wicked Brick, the Up House, because on the back of it, when they're doing the printing, isn't that a screenshot or a capture from the movie? Or like some of those sorts of ones where it's like Disney ones where they're
cutting it close to the
I think the runs are probably so small that they don't care. Like, if they're only making 350 of these things.
I don't know. Like, I need to have another look, but because the two Up House cases that they did are different. Like the one that Trevor got a limited edition one of, that's like raised, so the background's different. But I don't know. I think they do it different enough that they can technically get away with it. But I think it's just something that they're probably weary about with the designers and stuff. Like they can't, because otherwise it would be Disney after them, I suppose, not Lego. But it's
which the Mouse House is pretty aggressive on their copyright and trademark enforcement.
Well, they'll have less on their workload at the moment with Steamboat Mickey being a public domain now.
Public domain,
but, I wonder if that was why they got that GWP out when they did.
I was thinking the same.
Because now all your other like Fantasy, Funhole, all that could have at it if they wanted, I suppose. So I did wonder if they would maybe do that. Because I think people would still buy it if one of those companies did like a one like the Bigger Ideas version rather than the GWP. I think people would maybe buy it.
Yeah, I would be tempted. I like the Ideas one because I was tempted by the GWP, but I was being too stingy to go and get it. And then I didn't want to get it as a standalone thing necessarily. It might be cool to go on a desk, but I was like, well, if I'm going to go out and buy it individually, LHF. I think I'd like to have it as a proper thing, like the ideas one.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Yeah. And Happy New Year to Trevor's video. And who wants to read this comment?
Oh God.
Trevor, I think you've recycled that now for about the third or fourth time. Like, I'm starting to pick these now, so that's been going well.
Oh, if you start retelling dad jokes, then that's kind of getting close to being a grandpa joke because you're like forgetting that you've told it. So
he's doubled down on the up house on the jokes with his next comment. There you go.
Oh my God.
At least that's one I don't remember yet. So.
Yeah, that's true.
Didn't go up with inflation.
You say it with a sarky voice, but he just gave out a proper dad joke.
I didn't enjoy it though, Ollie. Obliged.
That's what you say, just so you know. You have to be seen, just be saying it, but deep down. Cool. No, Trevor, we went on a bit before. I think on text about doing the jokes on text stream, and I'm not sure you were there on the previous day when Mad Lib when we were doing the Chuck Norris ones. Anyhow, moving right along. Get back into that minefield of things. So yeah, similar sort of questions for both of you guys that we sort of put to Nicole. Obviously, New Year, everything like that. What you'd sort of like to do with your channels and things. I think I'll start off with Bonnie, because I know you sort of did a bit of a video earlier, so it's probably hopefully a little bit more top of mind. But
yeah, it should be like at the forefront of my mind, I think, because I feel like I've been over it in my head so many times recently. But yeah, so I'm rejigging like how I'm doing some of the things. One of the things being I'm not going to do my weekly Sunday streams anymore because it's too much. It's too difficult to work around, like with Nova and another baby on the way. And I just really like coming along to these streams, to be honest, not having to like worry about moderating, and just it's more casual. But instead, I'm going to be enabling memberships very soon. I've like started the process of like the whole monetization admin-y rubbish that you have to deal with like AdSense accounts and stuff like this. I'm just waiting for all that to come through, but also I'll probably wait until the Lego rooms up and built before I enable them as well, because I want to be able to like actually give members like consistent and quality content. I'm like one of these people that if I'm not happy with something, then it will just like grate at me. So until I'm like ready to commit to it, I'm not going to put it out there for people, because I've already had people like saying that they'd be keen and they would sign them up and stuff like this, but I'm like, I don't want to like let people down. Don't want to let myself down. So like yeah, that'll be like at some point, probably maybe Easter time, by the time it probably gets all up and running, I'm not sure. And with that, yeah, I'll do like a monthly big stream. So probably like mid-month, I would imagine, because everyone does like one at the start and at the end of the month around release times. So that's like a given to maybe do one then. So I'll probably do like a monthly member stream in the middle of the month sort of thing. And yeah, just more like content that I actually enjoy. I'm stepping away a little bit from doing reviews. I've got 2 I still need to do because of like affiliate like commitments. But I'm looking forward to doing these 2 actually. Like there's been a couple I've just kind of like, by the time they come, I'm like, I can't really be bothered doing this now. But these 2 I'm actually looking forward to doing. But I want to like change up how I do them. Want to try out some different like techniques and methods, and got a new kit. So I'm excited to do them. But I really want to get more into my Disney books, because as I've already mentioned to you guys in chat, like I've got so many ideas, and it's just what I want to be spending my time doing. That's what I'm like passionate about. It's what I find fun, and that's just what I want my focus to be, because I think it also helps spending wise. Like yes, I'm talking about buying 4 stitches, but like at least that's not 4 like, I don't know,
it's fake
or something. I don't know. I want Gringotts too, but like I don't need 4. So I think that's. Oh, there's probably other things I've not mentioned, but that's kind of like the direction I'm going in with my channel. So like I'm proper committed. Like we've bought a new kit. Like we're gonna do a Lego room. I'm even sad to say that I've even like, because it was super cheap and I was just curious. Like I got one of these like sort of spammy course things like pop up on my phone, and I did purchase it.
Have you done it yet?
No, it actually starts on my 1 year anniversary, funnily enough. Like the first like tutorial thing. And I was like, it's like a 5-day challenge, like to see if it like ups you, like helps things with your YouTube content. And I thought, you know what, it's like £22. And I was like, meh, let's just try it and just see, like I'd be curious.
Yeah.
So I'm doing that as well. And yeah, I think that's enough. I think that's enough to keep me going.
Yeah, no, that's between that and, you know, maybe another little ankle biter running around, you know, it's like you've got so much time just to burn these days, don't you?
Oh, of course. Yeah. Totally.
And like you've got a second maternity leave coming up. Yeah, they're just sitting around all day, you're not doing that. Plenty of time.
There's going to be literally probably eventually this image of like me in the Lego room doing videos, and this like people are going to think I'm like the worst parent, but there probably will maybe be images of like this baby in a box because in Scotland we have this thing called the baby box, and it's like a Scottish government run thing because we got one for Nova, and it's to help, like it's offered to every single new parent, and you can basically get this box that also doubles as like a bassinet sort of thing, but it comes with like loads of goodies and stuff in it as well, like clothes and like loads of things for like starting off like as a mum or whatever. But it's actually really useful. Loads of people do use it for like for their baby to like nap in like as a newborn, like during the day. So we've still got the one in the garage that Nova had. I was about to say that Nova came in. That makes it sound like she came in the post. The baby does not come in the box, but so I'll have one of them. So I'll probably use that again for this baby. So it'll just be like a baby on the floor in a box.
In a box.
It is a box.
Oh,
it
is
is literally a cardboard box. It is a cardboard box. But I thought I had to explain that because it's a Scotland only thing. So even you guys in England might be like, what? So
well,
just
the
to
way that
clarify.
you said it, it's sort of like Nova came in a box, and it's like, did you just say Novocaine? Like what?
Yeah, so there might be. I'll need to like factor in a space for this baby box in the Lego room somewhere that like Lego isn't going to get swept in or something. I don't know.
Well, depending upon the setup you get, you know, when people sort of have like the tables, and then underneath it is like peg sort of legs, so there's like lots of storage room. So you just get your box and you sort of kicked it under there, and then, you know, done sort of, she falls asleep, you walk out, and then, you know, a bit later on you're like,
shit,
sure
forgot something. Yeah. Or like kick it thinking it's like an empty Lego box, but like, oh my god, no. Baby in there.
Baby in there. Cool. And then Trevor's coming here. You've achieved so much, Bonnie. So proud of you. Your channel has grown and grown. Yeah, it's the sort of thing to get, obviously, with everything you've been doing, and to be able to basically get 1,000 and monetize and all that, and like a year sort of thing. That's pretty good effort.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things that I still genuinely am not sure what is like a kind of a ballpark like for people. Like I remember wondering that myself, like people that are Lego content creators, what is kind of like an average sort of time scale and like sub count and stuff like this, and it's still really unclear. I think it's because it's such a broad community in terms of like content people make, and then how that hits and how that like the interest out there for that sort of thing. Because if you think about it, it's actually quite hard to get into because there's so many of us now. There's so many, and that became more apparent to me, the amount of people that have recently joined LAN. And then like I'm still scrolling through Instagram, and I'm still only just coming across people for the first time, and they've got like 100,000 odd followers, and I'm like, how did I not know about this person? It's because people get lost in like the density of the community. So it's not an easy, like, you know, community to get into if you want to do content creation stuff and actually do it, like, also obviously for the fun of the hobby, but for like the other stuff on the side as well. So yeah, but I'm really happy with how far I've come. Like, yeah, I 100% think I could have been like way up there further with all the ideas that I've got, all the enthusiasm and the support I've got and stuff, had it not been for obviously being a parent. But I wouldn't change anything for the world, because, well, for one, if I hadn't become a parent, I would have got into Lego, because you've heard this story so many times, but that's how I got into Lego. So yeah, let the fun times roll, and we'll just see what the future holds. Like, more Disney sets are coming out, so, you know, I'm happy.
Yeah, I mean, certainly you coming into it being a Disney fan in Disney 100, like,
Yeah.
I know,
had
it's a
you started
recipe
this
for
year,
disaster. Yeah. Recipe for disaster. Couldn't have written it better. Yeah.
Brilliant, excellent. No, it's been great to sort of see how your channel has grown, and you kept on doing all the different types of content, whether it's lights and reviews and third-party products and those sorts of things. So yeah, it's just brilliant to see that. And
Thank you. Been enjoying it.
excellent. And Ollie and Brick Askew, what sort of almost hit the kick button there. What's your goals for this year? Oh, stay on the channel, not get kicked off.
Yeah, that's a good start. Goals are starting stream. Actually doing live stream. Got it booked in next Wednesday at 8 o'clock UK time. Yeah, so going to be talking about mocks. Got going to be every other week, and got our first guest lined up for 3 weeks time, basically. So yeah, don't know the format of it all yet exactly, but I think we'll figure it out a bit. But yeah, just generally talking about mocks and Lego and that side of things, and displaying, because it doesn't seem to be covered too much in streams. So hopefully there's a bit of a gap there that we can get in on, and just to learn and to chat to people. And I think that's one of my goals, is to, well, that's two of them really. One is to just get to know more people and learn as much as possible, and get some inspiration for mocking, because I want to kind of try and figure out my style a bit more this year. Yeah, I think just kind of last year was very much about, was it last in the year? Well, up until now, it's been very much kind of like messing around, and there'll still be a lot of that, I'm sure. But I want to start kind of nailing down my style with my mocks. That's quite a big, it's quite a daunting task so far to set myself that way, figure out what I'm doing with it. But yeah, so yeah, I want to start doing that. I've got to sort my Lego room out for that and make space to actually be able to be creative, I guess, because I've basically only got these square blocks behind me to fill, and I want to do something bigger, so I need to figure that out. And I'm also started messing around with short form content, potentially. Maybe next year I'll start doing some longer form stuff. Just figuring out, like, finding my feet with I don't know, being on a video, I guess, like doing these streams and doing a stream with Gaz. Oh yeah, the stream's gonna be with Gaz, the minifig who. Yeah, and the short, just kind of getting used to the sound of my own voice, I guess, which is weird.
But yeah, no, that's. I was going to say, do you have a co-host for your stream that starts every other week next Wednesday?
Next Wednesday, yeah. Hopefully, it shouldn't clash with anyone. So yeah, but yeah, Gaz, the minifig who. So I think that could be quite an interesting combination, because he's very much like Doctor Who faker, so it'll be interesting to see how mocking, because I think he touches on quite a few different styles of stuff with Doctor Who, because there's however many different sets and like settings for that. So yeah,
for that, and all the different doctors, and then how he's trying to do various pulling things together for his minifigs, given the parts that are, or the parts that are available.
Exactly.
Well. Brilliant. Because I think it was on your Instagram feed the other day, and I think the first couple of pinned mocks that you have, the first couple of pins are like your mocks, and I think one is the round tower and things like that.
Yeah,
and it's very much, as you're saying, having your style and things like that. It's like seeing that, and it's like, okay, yeah. And that's, I think, what I was attracted to originally, like, whatever it was 8-9 months ago, when we were doing those sorts of things. It's like, there's a lot of skill that's here, and it's quite something unique.
I think that's what I always aim for in anything I do, is to be as unique as possible.
So yeah, certainly. If I know you're still working on the format. Is the sort of thing you're just going to be talking about it, or you're going to be sort of trying to do bits of mocks on streams? Or
I think it'll mostly be talking. I was thinking about this today, actually. I was like thinking mostly talking, especially when we've got people on, and we'll get your good self on as well. Because understanding how people do it and styles and stuff like that. But I was wondering if maybe there'll be the odd stream where we will build something, or cause I'm sure there's going to be times, because Gaz displays quite a lot, so there's going to be times when I'm sure he'll probably be quite grateful to be able to build while streaming, and for myself, and to be able to bounce ideas around, and because I've kind of I feel like I've had a bit of a builder's block and not knowing quite how to get started on. I've got ideas for stuff, but it's just formulating those ideas and actually taking a first step in doing them. So I'm kind of hoping that streaming will help with that as well.
To do that, yeah. It's once you get into a bit of a flow with it, you then start thinking in those terms, and then it's more, okay, well, how can I either be doing the mock, or how can I bring elements on that into the live stream, and so on.
Yeah, exactly. And another part of it, I want to kind of review other people's mocks as well, or at least kind of showcase mock of the week kind of thing. What's particularly grabbed our attention over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, no, it's sometimes spend a little bit too much time on Rebreakable, and I think about a year or two ago I did something similar in terms of doing top 5 mocks of the week and things like that, and maybe it's 2 years ago now. It must be 2 years ago now. So yeah, it's there's so much good stuff out there.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It's amazing. And then also too, I found, even with just doing those top 5 mocks of the week, because I generally try to tag people or whatever who actually did them, and the number of times people would message back with, "Oh, thanks very much for doing that," and good comments and all that sort of stuff. So it's certainly, I'm sure, if he's doing that, and then like what you guys are then doing, having the actual stream on the back of that, you sort of go, "Oh, actually, we do a weekly or every other week show. Do you want to come in and have a little bit of a chat?"
Okay, good thinking. Okay, cool. Yeah, good little idea there.
There's been over the years, there's been a number of different mock type live streams and things like that, like Mockumentary with Tech and Plastic Architect. Was one which was always good to watch. I think the ones where Solo Brick Builder did Are You Mocking Me? And I think even the 2 to 4 players, they did I think a couple of charity type mocking competitions.
Wheel of Mock Tune, wasn't it?
Yeah, Wheel of Mock Tune. That was it. And I think it's the Lego stuff that we normally see. Like we go on each week, and it's like, okay, what's the latest releases, rumors? It's a lot of the same stuff, and you go to somebody else's, and you'll see something similar. So certainly, if you the mocks, it's like it almost feels like the field's wide open, because
it does a bit, which is quite good, because hopefully it means there's a bit of leeway for us if we're a bit rubbish, don't know what we're doing. It does feel like it's wide open, like you say.
Yeah, and I think that is. We've sort of been talking about Bonnie's Up House model, and video from a year ago and things like that. There is an audience there that does like to watch it, and
absolutely.
So brilliant, excellent.
And it'd be good to get you on as well, Bonnie, once you've got your Lego room sorted, because that would be part of the whole thing of how have you got all your parts sorted and stuff like that, or
I feel like your streams are going to really touch on stuff that I'm really, really interested in, because I'm really nosy about like how people do their setups and stuff, but also it's
Yeah.
useful to know, like if people know about a product that's like useful for storage or like a good technique for sorting, then it's like it's going to be useful for others to know. So
I
if
feel
there's
like it
like a
could be really,
discussion there, yeah,
yeah.
it'd be really good.
I feel like
think-
it could be really geeky. I think.
Well, you're on a live stream talking about Lego. Like, you've already
Yeah,
jumped
that
over
ship
half
has
a dozen
sailed.
Yeah. Even
hurdles, like,
geekier. Getting
Yeah,
geeky
that's-
about Lego is yeah, a bit meta.
personally, that's probably you know, I think that ship's well and truly sailed. But you know, you're not worrying about those things.
Yeah.
But no, it's I meant to say, Bonnie, and I'm sure you probably had it going through, and it's always fascinating when people are building a Lego room, and you know, it doesn't matter what they're doing. Like it's the thought process. It's being able to see that and whatever. Because even when Greg built his cabin years back, as he's going through. He meant to do it, but you know, did the first 3 or 4, and you know that was really interesting to sort of see that. And I think even now, he probably has a record of that happening. Like sometimes it's, I noticed it with some of the early videos on the channel, which had a lot more focus on the kids and things. You look back on those ones now, and it's like, wow, like it's 4 or 5 years ago, and the kids have like just changed so much, and it's nice just having those little snapshots.
Yeah, it's bizarre. I remember like having a glimpse at the very first video I did, and actually you can see Nova on the floor, and she's like just a lump. She's like not like she's just like I think she's maybe not in the box. No, she's not in the box. Not for that bin, but like she's on her mat, and she's just like this like kind of like meh. And it's just crazy now, like to see how so much has changed, like both on the channel and like the surrounding, like you can't help but cringe a little bit sometimes when you're like, oh god, that's what the living room used to look like, or like, it's just like, but I just hope it comes across as like what it's supposed to though when I'm doing the Lego room, and that like because I've had the experience of being in a really small space trying to do like a very space exuding like hobby, and it is not a luxury. Because it's a luxury to have, I would say, a designated room for your hobbies. Like it is. So,
Absolutely.
and I don't want it to come across as me saying, "Look at me!" Like I'm trying to be like Brixie or something like that. It's not like that at all. It is just that we've worked hard for what we've got, and it's also just like a safety element for me because I've got like this absolute anxiety that with little kids, Lego and it's just not a good mix. And then even Aaron with his what I call his little men, like he needs his own space for that as well. Like and like yeah, I don't feel like I've been like a bad parent because we've got Nova's playroom done. She's got playroom and she's got bedroom, and like my room is the very last one to get done. So it's kind of like
Got your
it's
priorities right.
yes, I'd like to think so. So it's just like a mental sort of output for me because I've never been like a materialistic person. Like I was very good at saving for a long time. Not anymore, funnily enough, since Lego came along. But it's because I just didn't have any like interest like that. I was more of a like a go out and do things sort of person. So to have actually like something that I'm really passionate about that gets me excited to go out and buy things, like I don't think that's a crime. I think that's quite and it's so lovely that it's just come with this community as well. Like how many hobbies can you really say that have this kind of like community with it as well, and you can just like I talk to you guys like every day. Like I don't even talk to like other friends I haven't mentioned every day. Like what is that about? Like
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing the other day. I was like, I talk to you guys more than like friends I've known for half my life.
Yeah.
because you just like sometimes to find those people that have that really specific passion as you, sometimes you have to like they're not going to be on your doorstep, they're not going to be like at your school and
Yeah,
you've
this
known
is
them
the
for
thing.
years or whatever. Like it's you got to go out and find them I don't know in the wider world, and it's just and also it just means it's an excuse for us to be as we grow up to be adults and are reminded how old we are, but at least we get to choose what we spend our money on now. We get to spend it on little toys. So it is what it is. I'm not feel guilty about it.
It's the sort of thing where it's even when you start going grey, it's sort of like, well, the age thing starts becoming somewhat irrelevant. Like it's just for me, I have to sometimes do double takes because it's sort of like, okay, yes, when I was a kid and that was that long ago.
Yeah, don't
It's
start counting the years. Just don't do it. Yeah, and I don't think the
yeah.
grey is an age thing. I think the grey is a child having children thing. Because I got my first grey when Nova was like a few months
It's the
down the
stress
line.
thing. I think I've
Yeah.
started to get, after moving house, I've got a few grey hairs in my
They're so
shoulder.
shiny when you have dark hair, and I'm like, it's terrifying. Like they glisten in the light, and you're like, that's such like no, terrible.
And
and they're like hydras, aren't they? Like when you pull them out, they'll probably just sprout like 3 more.
back.
So I'm like, great. So I've got the stress of like paying for a child and a mortgage and Lego, and now I'm gonna have the stress of having to pay to get my hair done more often to hide the growth. Just a cycle.
It's when you start filming or you start grading everything so it's black and white, so then you can't tell the difference.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
And yeah, some really nice comments coming in through that. So as what you guys say, it's like just being able to touch base just throughout the day, and people finding different cool things and bits and pieces that we can all sort of have a bit of a look at, and that's brilliant with that aspect. Certainly for me, I'm just trying to this year I want to do more sort of art and Lego art sort of thing. Again, so many different ideas. And it's kind of funny because I haven't, like when I did the Christmas card, it was literally, I think the only sort of painting I did all of last year. And it's like, for me, that's like really odd. I mean, last year for lots of reasons, other things, life happened in between. So it was nice to be able to at least have this relatively consistent on a Thursday night. And yeah, it's always funny going back and looking at some of those first streams, and it's like, oh, I knew it was bad. Bad. Okay, well, some things have been getting better at least. But we've all got to start somewhere with our sort of streams and things like that. So I think that's that. I would also like to do a bit more on the mocking front, but I already have looked at what's kind of mapped out for this year, and so like that's going to be tight. But anyhow, we'll try to get there.
Yeah, there's that, isn't there? There's the time aspect, because I've got things I want to do outside of Lego as well, and it's like, where do you fit all of this in?
Where do you fit it all in?
Yeah,
and that's where, I mean, as I sort of say, like, there's videos which it's all shot. It's just a matter of sitting down and editing it. Like, there's the one last year from Billings. Like, there's a whole walkthrough with that, and then particularly some little just things which I keep telling people about, and I want to do it in a video. It's like, if you go to Bill, here's how you can save 20% on the VAT that you get charged, and all like that. Because there's lots of little. Yes, it's duty free, but it's not designed to make it so that it's easy to do. So,
this is why so many people haven't booked their holiday to Billings yet, is because they're waiting for your video.
Well, I always use the Solar Brick Builder light video, because I think it was like in 2020 when we were all sort of starting, and we looked at the price of lights, and lights are not cheap, and he sort of turned around and said, oh yeah, it's really, really easy. You can do it sort of, for next to nothing. I'll do a video on it. Here we are 5 years later.
Yeah, still no video.
Still no video. In the end, it's sort of like last year, I just got to the point that's like, right, I'm just going to teach myself how to do this now, because it might be another 5 years before Solo gets around to it. So
that's the other thing, like the aspect of it is like the time for video editing and stuff. Like some people like it, I really don't. I don't really like the video editing part. And it just
seems to be seems like a hidden part of it. Like, because even just filming it in itself is enough of a thing, and then and you don't really appreciate that there's all the editing that happens. And I haven't done it for years, but did do editing at school, and it takes ages.
That's the sort of thing I found, and it's something when Shy was on, we sort of had a bit of a talk about it. I try to do a lot of things in one take, maybe if something went horribly wrong, I'll do a second one, just because then if you've got the more takes you have, exponentially the more work that because you'll go through and go, okay, well, I'll watch the 3 takes. Which one was the better one? Was it this one? Was it that one? Okay, it's going to be this one, but I still need to edit this part out. And then if you're doing that on everything,
Yeah.
It adds up. It's really easy to film in that respect. Like, you're just like push. Like going out doing a vlog, like when we went to London and things like that. I've just finished editing like the first. I have to do that in 2 parts. So Matt, you won't feature in the first part, but you'll definitely feature in the second part. And so will drunken Aaron. Honestly, it was, to be fair, it was quite funny watching that video, like the editing whilst I was editing that, because I was like, I can't remember him saying this, and it's just like, oh, everyone's gonna watch it and think he's so funny and think he's absolutely hilarious and like I'm so lucky. Can't wait to meet him at Bricktastic. And I'm like, I have to live with this tool. Like, he's so annoying. Like, when you get this 24/7, like. But yeah, like going through those kind of videos is like, yeah, it can really be time consuming. But it's like, it's so easy just to film so much.
Yeah. Okay.
Whereas I don't have the same issue at home when I'm like trying to video like a review or something, because you're like set in what you're. I need to get this angle, and then I need to get like this part, and but then they're usually more boring to edit. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I found with the vlog stuff, again, if you can do it in 1 take, and if you sort of, depending on like, if you're doing it as a week one, and you can kind of go, right, Monday, I sort of want to try to get this part of the story, or just having a. You know, it's kind of difficult to do because you don't sometimes know what it is until you get to the end. But at least if you've kind of roughly mentally cut it together in your head before you do it, if you're only doing 1 take, it's like, right, okay, bang, bang, bang. I can at least take all that footage, dump it on a timeline, and then just start chopping it and go like, without.
And then sometimes I even speed it up as well, like speed up the. Like to the point that people can still understand me, but like I'm like, even I'm getting bored droning on here this part. Or I think that's like one of the things I just need to like improve on this year is like purging my clips at parts and just like watching it back multiple times, and like at what point do I maybe get a little bit bored, and like, you know, do I need to say this, and that kind of
and that's
stuff.
where I found doing some of the shorts and that can be helpful, because you've got to get to the point, and it's so like, what is you can only really have one idea here, because if somebody's going to swipe off it in 15 seconds, what are those 15 seconds about? Like, you need to have the really good hook in the 1 or 2 seconds, and then sort of keep them in, and then once you do that, then when you go to your longer form, you start applying some of those principles. It's like, we didn't really need the second half of that explanation. This probably doesn't need to be there, and that's not quite okay. Well, and seeing that there. Wishing you all well. Hope you have a brilliant rest of the week. I hope you do too, Trevor. Hope that your new year has started off well, and hopefully we will see you back around sometime soon. And I think with that, we might just sort of starting to push up against the 3 hours, sort of wind it up here. I think, we've had some really good conversation tonight, and it's the sort of thing we've barely, apart from I think the Stitch one, haven't really touched on any of the new releases. Oh, and the
right. All the rumours. There was loads of rumours as well, wasn't there?
There's loads of. Just for prosperity, there was the Despicable Me 4 has been replacing Avatar from looks at the family trees coming out. We're getting 25 years of Lego Star Wars. Or is it Phantom Menace? I think it's Phantom Menace.
There's always an anniversary for Star Wars.
Yeah. We've got to have a different sticker. We've got some wonderful brickheads coming. Stitch, Sonic, Knuckles, Shadow, Baby Groot. We've got the Ideas Cat. Dungeons and Dragons was announced. We sort of knew about, but they're giving us part counts. London Telephone Box. I would say Harry Potter. Just waiting for a little gremlin to reappear. No, we're getting another Star Wars 501st, which I'm still trying to convince Tech to get 100 little clone troopers, because you only ever got to 50, and it's like, no, you need 100. Now you can do it. Speaking of things I don't let go of, We've got the Lord of the Rings. Somebody can correct.
Barad-dûr.
That's the one. Barad-dûr.
Yeah, I was going to try and say that.
Ninjago, the little mini builds. We've got some more
Yeah.
photos of it. And we've got the Marvel Captain America versus Red Hulk. Another ridiculous one, which is going to be 223 pieces for £50.
Yeah.
It's like, what is Marvel thinking? What was like the X-Jet?
Yeah.
Like, these prices don't make sense.
No,
Where is the X-Men mansion?
The X-Jet has already gone, was 50 quid on game. I know we're closing up. But so straight away, it's already been on sale.
What? Which one?
Yeah, the X-Jet was down. Oh no, maybe it's £60 actually.
I thought it was gone 65. Yeah.
I had was it 65? I had 60 in my head because I thought £15 got taken off. But anyway, it's already been on sale straight away. So hopefully, there's hope that it could go for ridiculous prices.
It might
reasonable prices, but
yeah,
like ridiculous sale amounts off.
Yeah, because it's the sort of thing I'd seen that and I thought it was about 10 off. And you're then like, okay, well, if it's 10 off in the first couple of days, where's this going to get to?
Yeah,
I'll just wait a little bit longer.
Yeah, exactly. Because I had it in my basket and I was like, no. I was like, we'll see. Maybe we can get a 50% sale on it.
What was the original price again? I can't remember. It was something silly, so I didn't even remember.
Is it 75 or 80?
Yeah.
Okay.
75. Yeah, I think when it's 45 to 50, I'll get it at that point. I think.
Because I think 359 pieces.
Yeah, it's not much.
So it's sort of like even like
it's like over 20.
Okay, I know it's. I like to get around the 10p per part. Okay, yes, I know it's not a rocket science, blah blah blah. But even if you're at 50, you're still not hitting that 35, 40 mark. Like it's still
so, and I only want half the figures. Well, I mean, Wolverine's always good to have, but yeah.
Well, you don't like the legs.
Did you guys think the Sandman expansion to the Marvel set that already existed was a good value? Because I thought that was maybe still, I don't know.
What is the current price? I mean, it's definitely
£2. I think £31.99. I think it is.
Because it's like it seems sort of cheap, but like also it. Like when I saw it for the first time in Smith's, like the box, I was like, it's so small.
Yeah, and you repeating figures from the set that you meant to connect it to. It's got Electro and Spider-Man, which are already in the other one, and then I think I'd see it. Maybe when it gets down to 20, if I can get it for 20, then or third off. I think I'd go for it maybe.
So £32 for 347 pieces. So yeah, it's
okay.
It's
and there's some big bits in there.
Yeah, there's a few. Yeah, the base is obviously some big bits. You've got 3 minifigures and things like that. So it's the sort of thing, if they do 25% off or thereabouts, probably get it then. Because it starts to get to that sort of point where, if it's 24, 25, 26 pounds, okay, if it goes to something cheaper like 20, okay, you're saving 5, but it's like in the scheme of things, it's 5. It's not like a bigger set where that percentage difference is like 30, 40 pounds. Like
okay.
Yeah, £26 from Game. Yeah, Game had some amazing sales on straight away. The CMFs were £3 instead of £3.50. Just basically everything, every January release was on sale straight away. I think it was like 20% off.
Check that out. Although I would imagine by now we're 4 days in and it's probably all sold out.
I think there's another one to check is Ace, which is basically Game do their fulfill their orders, I think. So yeah. And they had the same prices. So I very nearly got some of the space sets. They've gone now completely, but they had the Star Wars Battle Pack for 20 quid instead of 25. Basically, yeah. Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, sold out to the point that it's not even on the game website anymore. Because some of them are like sold out, and then but yeah, that one's just been taken off. Same with the Spider-Man one, that's not on there anymore. I think.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I feel like I'm always behind the scoop because like my first thought on like January 1st and like Boxing Day and stuff was to check like Argos because they usually have like amazing sales.
Yeah. I wouldn't have thought to check game. It was only because
No.
Merlin said about it. I think is where I think he was the one who gave a heads up about it.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, that came through on the chat there, and I think it's much the same. The usual mentality. Well, if they're doing that day one, what are they going to be like in 3 months' time? Like,
Yeah, that's it.
And it's not like I don't after the last little bit have enough stuff in the backlog to try.
Well, yeah, this is the other thing. I don't need it right now. I did go out admittedly and buy a Batman, but
you go out and buy it now, and realistically, you might not build it for another 6 months.
Yeah, I'm learning that about myself now as well.
Yeah. In which case, in 6 months' time, it might actually be on another sale in the meantime. Cool. Is there any? I know we kind of rushed through it. Any other sort of ones we just want to quickly touch upon in those? Anything we're excited for? Not. Yeah.
I don't think so.
The Lord of the Rings one. I want to see what that's like. I'm excited for that, but that's also expensive. I think 400 and 400. I think it's the same price as Rivendell, maybe even more, but for fewer pieces. But it depends what it's going to be like.
Yeah, it would depend because Rivendell was about 6,000 pieces.
Yeah,
but there was a lot of tiles.
Yeah.
So again, like what you say, see what it comes out with. Have they said how many minifigures are going to be in that one?
I don't remember. I don't think so.
Because that
a Gandalf the White, that would be good. But
would they have to go back and redo like most of the Fellowship characters? Like, if you got
I reckon it'll be orcs. I think there'll be. My guess is Gandalf the White, or my hope, Gandalf the White, Sauron, bunch of orcs, Saruman, and Uruk-hai's. Yeah, the baddies basically. Maybe Grey Worm.
How many are in the Rivendell? Is it 15 or 21?
Oh, can't remember now.
Where's 21?
I think it's 15.
Oh, I think it's 21, including the statues. I think you're right. I think it's 15, and then there's the statues. I think there's 6 statues.
So if you use that as a bit of a benchmark, which given Ninjago and a few others, that would seem kind of sensible. If it's kind of the same money, slightly smaller piece count, you'd want to think that it would have about 15 figs.
Yeah. They could have, I can't remember his name now, the king who cut off his Sauron's fingers and stopped the First War.
Yeah. Because I guess the interesting question then is, are Lego... Because let's just say you only ever got one of these Lord of the Rings sets. And if you got this Barad-dûr,
yeah.
And it didn't come with a lot of the main cast, would you be there going, well, this is kind of shit. I've spent 400 and odd pounds and I don't get the Hobbits, or I don't get...
Yeah. But then it's hard to know. I guess, maybe you'd get Sam and Frodo because they actually see the tower. Maybe you get Gollum as well. I don't think you could get all of... I wouldn't imagine you get all of the Hobbits again. Because...
No, it wouldn't make sense.
Merry and Pippin don't go anywhere near it, as far as I'm aware. The dwarves probably wouldn't get... I see your point, but I don't know how they'd have to keep it quite relevant.
Yeah, because then, part of it, you might... I don't know, I'm sort of thinking it's like, I would want also too, and this is where the tension part would come in, I'd want a good army of orcs or...
Yeah.
Like, of the bad guys.
Yeah.
I
wouldn't be surprised if it was like you get 3 or 4 orcs, maybe.
Yeah.
Or you get
But
2 orcs
I
and 2
think-
urukai or something.
It's going to be really telling to see the final minifig selection. Because if they have none or very few of the ones in the Rivendell, it's going to be like, no, we want you to buy both. Which,
Yeah.
in an ideal world, yes, but all of a sudden you've dropped £900 on 2 Lego sets. So,
Yeah. But then at the same time, they are separate. I think I would be a bit like, there's the risk that if they include Fellowship characters that have nothing to do, that aren't actually relevant to Barad-dûr, that's a wasted fig, where they could have done like Sauron's mouthpiece or something like that.
Yeah. No, I can see the arguments each way, and I think depending upon the final selection, it's going to be really telling as to whether they see them as standalone sets per se, like, okay, we're happy for just to have this, or no, we're really aiming this for you to buy a Rivendell, a Barad-dûr, the next one we bring out.
I do feel it's annoying because now I will consider getting Barad-dûr. Like before getting Rivendell, I would have probably just out of hand said no, I'm not. Yeah, there we go. You reckon Elrond? I don't know about an Elrond. A Nazgul would be good though. Yeah, Nazgul and the dead king, whatever he's called. But yeah, but now I've got Rivendell. It doesn't seem so ridiculous to get Barad-dûr, even though it is completely ridiculous. Like you say, nearly £1,000, dropping nearly £900 on 2 Lego sets. Like what? Yeah,
ridiculous thump. Oh
yeah.
So like,
I know I can figure it out so that I can get together like some Christmas money. I can sell some sets, and yeah. Oh, of course he was. Yeah.
It's, anyhow, it's I'm a bit the same, but in reverse, it's like it's always been one of those sets you've looked at and gone, yeah, that's a nice set. Can I ever justify that? And then the second one comes out, it's like, well, the second one's come out. I really need to justify the first one now.
yeah. I've already justified the first one, and I'm fully on board. So, I just need to not, I suppose. But then maybe that's something for next year. I need to. I don't know, get promotion at work and sort my house out so it doesn't take all my money. But then I've got to go on a holiday at some point. And,
Bonnie's just there at the moment, pre-ordering it while we speak. What I'm talking about. Already being in touch with the light company too.
Yes. No, I've already said to Aaron, like, I'm not feeling like as urged to get this straight away, like what we did with, because we went and got Rivendell like straight away on release and stuff like that. And yeah, it also just depends how it looks. Like,
yeah, I do want to see what it's like because it's a black tower. Like,
yeah, so they need to make it like really interesting looking. Like it can't just be a big black jobby. Like it has to be like
a big black box. We haven't had one of those.
Because the risk could be that it's not as interesting on the front, and then they've got it like cut in half, like so it's open back, and then they've got all the stuff going on in there, and I don't.
Yeah,
that would probably put me. I'm not fussed about open back stuff. I know Rivendell is, but most of it's all like up the front, so
it works. Yeah, if the designers like hit the nail on the head like they did with Rivendell, then I think it could make a killing again. But
yeah,
and just it's probably going to be the one if they've got a big giant eye at the top.
Yeah,
that's
they will do. Surely.
Would they put a light brick in it?
Oh, they'd have to. Now you've said that.
I wonder if it'd be a unique piece that I like using some of the plastic stuff, or if it would be brick built.
Like you just get the stitched eye and like a light break through it.
Or
a light break through it because it need to be transparent all the way through.
Or the Jurassic Park gyrosphere. Just modify that.
Okay. Yeah.
It's transparent. It's got a lot of it might be some sort of custom, but I could see.
Yeah.
I mean, particularly if you got this whole thing and it's completely dark, like that's a fantastic backdrop for a light kit.
Well, it's getting into lighthouse territory, isn't it? Maybe that's why it's so expensive. Maybe it is because it's got a light in it that goes round.
Mm.
Because
Oh,
that's
that
the
would
thing,
be
right?
cool.
It goes,
Yeah.
it moves, right?
Oh yeah.
That would be really
Imagine,
cool.
yeah, it's the whole.
That'd be a missed opportunity if they didn't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that does explain the price tag versus the piece count.
But now I'm like, oh, they should have like a waterfall in Rivendell. Like, if they're gonna properly go with it with this theme, they should have like done all this. Yeah.
There's your next mock idea.
Yeah.
I need loads of blue pieces for that. I've not even tackled motors. Like, oh
Yeah,
God,
that's
I wouldn't
something I
even
want to
know.
get my head around. I don't know if that'll be
Yeah.
this year or not, but
Yeah. I feel like
Yeah.
that would like do well for like content, is like, here's how to start off like with a basic motor and how you can like make it do quite interesting
yeah.
things. It's like,
Or even without a motor, just like a hand turned thing.
Hand turn, yeah, because the motors thing, yeah, don't get me started, but that's instantly expensive.
Yeah.
Then you're starting to generally to do anything, it's some form of code or something, which
Right.
if you can get away with a hand crank, it's probably going to be more accessible. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is something I do want to start looking into it. The motion sensor that follows you.
Yeah, but the set was only £400, not 600. Like, cool. Alrighty then. I think we'll just quickly wrap it up then. Ollie Brooke is here. What are you sort of coming up on your socials and?
Like we were saying earlier, I've got the stream next week, next Wednesday, 8 p.m. UK time, and I will put out the times for other places in the world. I'm trying to think of the proper time frame. No, it's not time anyway. It's not timestamps, but yeah, streaming, and then maybe trying out some more reels on Instagram because I was quite enjoying that stuff. And yeah, that's it. And back on here next week.
That's it. Okay, brilliant, excellent. Yeah, no, definitely look forward to seeing your mock show next week, Wednesday, with Gaz Minifig Who. And yeah, as I said before, there's been other mock sort of ones out there, and it's certainly a unique sort of area which is going to be quite wide open. So should be great. And I would say how you got on with your sorting, but I would imagine you've sorted. So
What's that? Oh, I actually did build something.
Oh, you did? Okay, yeah, we'll have a quick little.
This guy from Spider-Man. It's like from the second Spider-Man MCU film when what's his name? There's the projection of the molten molten lava monster thing in Venice. Is it? I want to say. Yeah, really cool. I've been just rebuilding the old mechs I took apart as part of the house move, so I'm going to do some sort of display with these guys. I've got a couple of Iron Man ones and something else, maybe an Iron Patriot and another one.
Yeah. Wow, yeah. I didn't even realize that's a set. Like a complete blind spot to me. Like,
yeah, this one's
the Spider-Man film. They would have to have done it.
Yeah, it's really cool. This one, I really like it.
I've never seen that one before either. Like, I thought you just made that one up. Bash mock.
Here's one I made earlier.
He's cool. Yeah, he's got bits of like streets and a bit of car sticking out of him. There's lots of really cool pieces.
Yeah, has that got Chris's missing wheel in it?
Yeah, maybe.
Brilliant, excellent. Okay, then, Bonnie, what are you sort of coming up on your socials?
So today's Thursday. So tomorrow I have a video premiering at 3 p.m. I think. I've been really busy video editing and stuff this week, so I'm losing track of what I've got planned. But yes, I've got a vlog coming out tomorrow. The first part of our London trip from last year. So very much like you, Matt, I was trying to get back on top of loads of footage that I had, and really wanted to get that London vlog out because it was such a good trip. And what else? Back here again next week. I'll have other videos kind of interspersed here and there. But my next video is going to be the next part of the London vlog, which will drop probably early next week, and hopefully at the end of next week will be that really long sort of detailed review similar to the Rivendell one. So it's another light kit, and it is for the Hocus Pocus set. I'll just tease you all with that now. So I'll be doing a similar idea where I'll compare all the different Hocus Pocus light kits so people can make an informed decision on which one they might want to buy. So other people don't have to do all the research, and I can just put it all in a video for people. So another slow burner, but I'm very excited to install my light kit into Hocus Pocus because that's going to look so friggin' cool.
Yeah.
So that's my week.
Brilliant, excellent. So, was it you on your last video? That was the first time you did a premiere, was it? Or am I
Yes.
getting- Yes.
No, yes, it was, and I was like, because I was going to schedule the video, and then I obviously saw like the make it a premiere option, and I was like, huh, what happens when I press this? And I pressed it, and I was like, oh my god, it's like a live stream, but it's not. So I
Yeah.
just hung about in the chat and like chatted to people whilst it went live. But it was good. It was good. It's not the easiest thing to like schedule a premiere though. Like I had to like play about with it a little bit to schedule the one for tomorrow. But I just thought, you know what, this is quite nice because it also just means that people kind of know when a video is going to drop. Like it's not just like a sudden notification that they'll maybe swipe and be like, oh, I'll watch that later when I've got time, and then forget about. I just thought it was a kind of nice idea, and it just shows to people as well that I am, you know, producing content again. Like there's stuff coming, so I just think it's fair for the people that have subscribed to feel like they're getting something. So yeah, it's just something I'm trying. We'll see how it works. See how it goes.
Yeah. No, it's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah. The thing with the premiere, I think you can only schedule it in 15-minute time brackets.
Yes.
10 minutes, one or the other. So yeah, if you're sitting there trying to do it at 12:07, yeah, that's not going to happen. So it's going to be 12.
Dang, that was the prime time. Like I wanted to.
Prime time in between. Yeah. So cool, excellent. No, it's good to see that, and yeah, certainly look forward to the Hocus Pocus, and I would imagine that you'll be influencing a certain Trevor in that regard. So
maybe, yeah, maybe.
Cool.
But, yeah.
For me, hopefully I can do a top 5 most expensive. Get back onto that. I've kind of enjoyed just having a couple of weeks off that after doing the daily little short advent calendar videos, and I think otherwise back here next Thursday, 8:30 UK time, having a chat with everybody else, and yeah, that sounds about it. So. Usual sorts of things. Press the like button, thumbs up. That everybody's details is down below, so you can check them out on, obviously YouTube, Instagram, and just trying to think if there's another one. Generally, nobody here uses Twitch, and I don't think too many people are on Twitter, X, or whatever it wants to call itself these days. And quickly go through the poll results. Even though that we didn't really talk about much of the new upcoming sets, what are your thoughts on the upcoming Lego sets? I'm going to end the poll now, which then makes it there. So we had... Oh, it changes the order. Okay, so in reverse order then. Overwhelmed, there's so much coming out, was 10%. Will there be new Lego sets? It was 14%. My wallet is virtually dead because of all the pre-spending that's going to happen. It was 25%, and half the people at 50% thought it was cool stuff. So it looks like there's going to be another strong year, and it was interesting catching. Maybe it was London Bridge Bricks was shy, and sort of saying last year, just because of the way it was designed in COVID and things like that, that may have been a strong, like the strongest year or the peak. And we might, it might trail off this year. So it'll be interesting to see. I certainly with some of the sets that have announced so far, you can make an argument there's going to be some good ones coming down the line. So.
Yeah, yeah. It feels like there's going to be some strong ones.
Yeah, I hope it's just going to be just a little bit calmer than last year, because I think everyone's kind of wallets could really do with it. Like, I wouldn't be too disgruntled about that.
Yeah, having been around for the last couple of years, it's like you think that at the beginning of each year, and then it's like, okay, more expensive, bigger, like it's kind of, yeah. And just a quick shout out to some people we had in the chat earlier. Always good to have the interaction there, which tonight went crazy at one point, and it was real difficult to keep up with it. Omega Man, Madlib, Mayo, 1 Brick Stud, 2 Humble Bricks, Redmond, Brick Scene, Brick Stage Pass, Fooling with Bricks, Plant Tech, London, Predator, Angler, Brick Hop, Brick Stop, Andy Bricks and Figs, KO, Madlib, Trevor's videos, and there's probably some more in there that I've missed out. Always appreciate you guys. Replay game, always fantastic. Leave a comment around it afterwards. Before we get out of here, anything else you guys want to quickly say?
Nope, just thanks for another great hosting, and yeah, looking forward to next week. Maybe we'll delve more into the releases next week.
We can play catch up.
Yeah.
If there's no other conversation going on in the meantime.
Yeah. There'll probably be more releases. There'll probably be more leaks by then. You know.
Excellent. Alright then. Catch you guys all next time. Always good to see you. Happy New Year to everyone, and we'll see you again next week. Bye.
See you.
Mr. Bigger, det blir super duper!
See ya. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.